Hello and welcome to Pretoria Country Club for the third and final round of the Titleist Championship, the third event of the Sunshine Tour's Rise Up series as professional golf gets underway again in South Africa after the COVID-19 enforced break. It's wonderful to have you along for our coverage today, wherever in the world you might be watching and whatever platform you might be watching on, be it on DSTV Now, on the Sunshine Tour's Facebook page, or on the YouTube channel. A very warm welcome to you, and hopefully you'll enjoy the coverage we've got in store for you this afternoon. It's been a great week so far, and plenty of action in the first two rounds here at Pretoria Country Club. Bitterly cold conditions greeted the Sunshine Tour professionals on day one of the Titleist Championship here at Pretoria Country Club. Despite the chill, George Coetzee was red hot on his home course. He was the only golfer out of the 112 who teed off on Wednesday to keep a clean card, registering 5 birdies in a flawless 67.
It's definitely a lot trickier than expected. I wasn't expecting this much wind and for it to be this cold, but in the end, I think everybody plays the same course. I think it helps that I kind of know where to miss on a couple of holes. I missed the green on one, and I was like, it's actually the best place to miss it, so I wasn't too fussed about it, and I got up and down and made par, and I guess it helps with keeping the confidence during the round.
Coetzee has company at the top of the leaderboard as birthday boy Henny O'Kennedy joined him on 5 under. He celebrated his 24th birthday in style, posting a 67 in the slightly easier afternoon conditions.
No, I couldn't ask for a better present today, hey? This morning when I woke up, looked a little bit outside and the wind was just howling and it looked like honestly bad weather out there. So I feel sorry for the guys in the morning. I think definitely we got the better draw today. Yeah, hopefully tomorrow is a nice day as well.
Closest to catching the duo was Clayton Mansfield. Despite 2 bogeys, he signed for a 4 under par 68 to finish the day just 1 shot off the pace.
I did a bit of an assessment and I thought under par is a good score. But I just got to stay patient. We teed off the 10th hole today and it was chilly. The wind was up a bit. So I just thought I just got to stay patient, let the birdies come to me. I'm going to make a couple mistakes. Just got to accept those and carry on going.
Neil Skittercut, who was playing alongside Coetzee, produced one of the shots of the day. Despite holing out for eagle here at the 12th, he battled his way to a 4 over par 76. Faring slightly better was Darren Fichardt. Winner of the first event of the Rise Up series at Killarney, he ran into trouble on the par 3 8th. The shortest hole on the course, played as the 3rd toughest on Wednesday. Fichardt hit his tee shot into the water and had to hold this to avoid dropping his shot. He signed for a 75. It was tough on Wednesday, though, with only 10 golfers finishing under par. Jaco Ahlers and Merrick Bremner ended the day 2 shots off the pace in a tie for 4th. It was a chilly start to the second round of the Titleist Championship here at Pretoria Country Club on Thursday, but fortunately conditions improved, and with it, the scoring. Tristan Strydom posted the low round of the week, a 7 under par 65. Despite a bogey and a double, he reeled off 8 birdies and an eagle to grab a share of the 36-hole lead.
I putted really nice yesterday. It was pretty much the same round of golf. I just didn't hold a lot of putts, and then today just a lot of them went in. I made an eagle on 9 to turn 6 under through 9, and that obviously had the momentum rolling, really nice. But I just kept it in play. I mean, I know the golf course really well. I know, where not to miss it, but the putts went in and I hit it really good off the tee, so it helps.
Strydom joined fellow Pretoria Country Club member George Coetzee at the top of the leaderboard. Coetzee was unable to replicate his first round 67, mixing 3 birdies with 1 bogey in a round of 70.
Yeah, a bit scruffy, but I suppose wasn't hitting it as good as yesterday, but hit a lot of greens and just try to make sure that I don't make any mistakes. So I was a bit conservative, I suppose, but in the end I'm reasonably happy with 2 under.
It appears to be a 2-horse race to the title, with 3 shots separating them from 3rd place. Clayton Mansfield's round threatened to get away from him, but he battled back bravely. He birdied his last 2 holes to sign for a 72 and finish on 4 under and solo 3rd.
To finish with 2 birdies like that is awesome. Gives you a good start for tomorrow, I suppose. But yeah, I struggled out there a bit. Par 5's letting me down. Do some homework on those and come back tomorrow with a better game plan.
Despite a double bogey on the 15th hole, Peter Moorman reeled off 6 birdies in a round of 68 to get to 3 under par. Jaden Shaper is in the hunt again after consecutive rounds of 71. Jaco Alers joined him on 2 under, while just 8 golfers are under par, heading into the 3rd and final round. Certainly plenty of action over the first 2 days here at Pretoria Country Club, and certainly plenty of action on the Betway Birdie Challenge leaderboard. This running throughout the Sunshine Tour's Rise Up series of 5 events, and a wonderful initiative by Betway to tally up the total number of birdies. The winner at the end of the 5 events wins the lion's share of 50,000 Rand. And at this stage, it's Jaco Alers and Jaco Prinsloo who are leading the way with 37 birdies apiece. Great effort from them. Pretoria Country Club, the host venue for this week's Titleist Championship, boasts a proud record, having hosted a number of Sunshine Tour events over the years. It's no surprise, really, then, that a number of tour players also call the club home.
I've been here a member since I was, 7 years old, and I think definitely what makes the club so special is the membership base. I think it's a very tight-knit group of people who look after one another, and it's always good to be here and play a tournament here.
I think just the tradition behind it as well. Hosted the Titleist Open. It's been some memorable moments here, and I think it's just a different kind of parkland course with all the bunkers and all the new changes now as well. It hasn't lost its toughness of it.
I think this is one of the tougher tracks in the country, to be honest. I think the way they've designed the greens to be upside down cereal bowl essentially makes it very tough, and I think especially in winter these conditions, it's definitely playing a couple shots harder than it does in summer.
The club hosted the Titleist Open for 4 straight years from 2015 to 2018. Arguably their most famous member, George Coetzee, romped to victory twice during that time and has fond memories of the wins.
He's done it. Listen to the roar. A closing 65 for George Coetzee.
I remember the first one, I came fishing here every day before my round, just to kind of calm my nerves and kind of get my mind in a good space. I spent hours here catching nothing. So, yeah, I mean, I obviously remember them very fondly. It's special places for me. I grew up here, I played a lot of tennis here. There used to be some clay court tennis courts over there that I played on. I really enjoy coming and just doing whatever they have to offer here. I was probably, I think, 14, 15 years old, and I phoned Bo Barnard, who was running Titleist South Africa at that stage, and asked him if they could sort me out with some equipment, and they said no. So I went to Junior World, and after three rounds I was leading the event, and the Titleist rep came past me and he asked me if I wanted some stuff. So I was like, yeah, I'd love that. Yes, I mean, Titleist has always been my favorite brand. I'd love some equipment, and when I got home I got a delivery signed by Bo Barnard with a whole bunch of Titleist stuff in it, and then since then I've just never turned back. It's kind of like Ferrari, or, you know, it's just like that brand that stands out. Everybody knows it. There's no debating it. It's just one of the best brands there is. And I mean, they've kept with the times. They've always made sure that they've got some of the best product on tour. And luckily for me, I've been playing with it.
Well, it certainly looks like the equipment is working for George Coetzee. On a roll as things currently stand in the 3rd and final round of the Titleist Championship. Currently leading the way. 2 under par on his round today. 9 under in total, and that good enough for a 3-stroke advantage over Jaco Alers. Peter Moolman is in third place, while Darren Fichardt has made a move up the leaderboard. He's a few groups ahead of them, and he's currently 5 under on his round today and in a share of 4th spot. So at this stage, it's looking like it's George Coetzee who's running away with things, but there's plenty of potential lurking just behind him in the form of experienced campaigners Jaco Alers, Darren Fichardt, and Jaco Prinsloo. A look at the second page of the leaderboard there. Dion Germeshuis up into a share of 11th, almost into the top 10. A couple of other names there as well. Martin Rowe, who fared so well in the first 2 events, is in a share of 16th. I'm not alone today, though. I am joined, as usual, by my colleague Oji Molefe. Oji, how are things outside? The weather looks to be absolutely glorious today.
Hey Richie, thanks and welcome to everyone once again, and thank you for joining us as we're here for the final round of the Titleist Championship. And yes, Richie, after a chilly start to the week across the capital, today's weather is fine and warm here at the Pretoria Country Club. And we know that it's a perfect weather for golf today. Not much wind to speak of. It's currently blowing at around 10 kilometers per hour or so, and I guess you can see in the scores as well that some of the players are red hot today, and I guess someone who's been hot the entire week despite the cold weather is the local favorite George Coetzee. And as you heard him earlier, I mean, he's been playing his golf here since he was a kid, winning his first tournament when he was 10 years old. So we're expecting some spectacular golf, and it promises to get even hotter in the next couple of hours, Richie.
Thanks very much, OG. Good to hear from him out on the course at the moment, and he'll be catching up with the players as they finish up their rounds and finding out how things went out there. He did mention George Coetzee cruising at this stage, 2 under par on his round today, and currently 9 under in total. Such an impressive showing from him so far. But as OG alluded to, the weather is considerably better today. It was chilly on Wednesday, really unpleasant conditions. Warmed up slightly yesterday, but the wind that persisted the first 2 days is a thing of the past. Mild, wonderful weather. It's warming up nicely, the golf ball going a little bit further, and certainly showing in the scoring. In fact, at this stage, only 2 golfers in the top 15 are over par. And that being one of our overnight leaders, Tristan Strydom. He surrendered top spot to George Coetzee, who's on his own and leading the way on 9 under par. The other golfer who's going in reverse is Clayton Mansfield. Unfortunately, 4 over for him on his round today. Jaden Shaper here with his 3rd shot on the 10th hole. Not the ideal spot to be there. Short-sided himself. It really is dead on the back of 10 there. And he's going to have a bit of work to do there if he's to save par. But tough from there, coming up and over 2 ridges. It's not going to be easy for him to manage to save par there. Jaden, of course, has enjoyed an incredible run so far in the Rise Up series. He's been very impressive after 36 holes. Was tied for the lead at Glendower and tied 6 at Killarney, but has failed to really cash in on those, managing to just turn them into a tie for 15th at the Betway Championship and a tie for 6th at the Africa Bank Sunshine Tour Championship. Playing in the group alongside Jaden is Peter Moolman, coming out of Benoni Lakes. And that is birdie attempt. Pretty good effort. Running a little bit past the pin, but not too bad from him. He left himself with lots to do from the front edge of the green. And Peter Moolman going along rather nicely today. 2 under par so far for him. And that through 9 holes. So certainly applying plenty of pressure, as is this man in picture. Jaco Alers, 4 under on his round today. And that's vaulted him into solo 2nd place at this stage and 6 under in total. Jaco Alers looking very comfortable today. 2 birdies on the 4th and the 6th holes and an eagle on the 9th. Wonderful effort from Jaco Alers. Coetzee that one in for a par 4 on the 10th. One of the trickier holes out on the course, Normally plays as a stroke 7 for members, fairly lengthy. Tough one for the pros to have to negotiate. But Jaco Ahlers makes no mistake there. A par for him as he remains at 4 under, 6 under in total. And that currently is good enough for second place. Jaden Shaper, who's had a few issues with the flat stick since golf resumed, looking for par now. Just turning in off the right. Good effort from him. Left himself a couple of feet for bogey there. Really, the mistake came from the second shot. Long and over the green. Short-sided himself. Really not much he could do there other than not compound the mistake, find the center of the green, and take his chances with the flat stick. Little frustrated with that. And so he should be only 1 under on his round today. Really would have been hoping for a few more to apply the pressure on Coetzee. Has done wonderful things in his amateur career. And everybody expecting him to kick on and convert that into a win. And surely the way he's been playing, that cannot be too far away. First up though, Peter Moolman looking for his par. Yeah, makes it. Good effort from Moolman to safely negotiate the 10th hole and remain at 5 under, currently in a share of third, alongside our joint overnight leader, Tristan Strydom. Jaden Shaper now, this for his bogey. Solid enough, just one dropped shot there, and he slides back to level for the day, and 2 under par. Opened with rounds of 71 and 71, and looking pretty solid, if not unspectacular. There's been plenty of golf away from the course, and the virtual Sunshine Tour has been ticking along nicely. Let's take a look at what happened the last time out. The latest episode of the massively popular Virtual Sunshine Tour, the Fans vs. Heroes edition, took place recently.
Psych the ball there, and wow.
Something to stand out, eh?
Gee whiz.
Set! Oh, too good.
That thing was crunched.
Dylan Morstead and Jaco de Beer looked to be in control of proceedings with a 1-up advantage playing the last. However, Andrew van der Knaap had other ideas. He managed to win the 9th, tie the match, and force it into a playoff.
Gentlemen, thank you. That was an honor. We are going to have a playoff hole. All right. We are all square through 9 holes.
There was no way to separate the two sides as they had to play the first at Glendower twice to decide the outcome of the match.
Stop it, Andrew.
Oh, he's got that.
Oh, Andrew. Knappy, little biscuit.
Yes, Knappy coming.
Van der Knaap saved his best for last as he and partner Chad Malchus claimed a hard-fought victory. Yeah, really has been a hit. It started out while we were in lockdown, and it's carried on. The Virtual Sunshine Tour. It's really been popular amongst the pros and amongst those taking part in it as well. A couple of fans involved now, and that the 12th edition of it. And long may it continue. Good fun had by everybody. To the golf now, George Coetzee leading the way through the turn, 3 under, and an impressive start from him despite a bogey on his first and second holes. He managed to birdie the par 5 4th hole, birdied the 6th, the 7th, and the 8th, and had a good chance for eagle on 9, but not to be. There's a look at our lead group at this stage. 2 Pretoria Country Club members in George Coetzee and Tristan Strydom, and a Clayton Mansfield, the Sunshine Tour rookie, who's struggling a little bit today. Not going all his own way. He's had a few issues and currently +5 on his round and 1 over par. George Coetzee, though, in complete control of proceedings, cruising along nicely at this stage, and 10 under par. That's a 4-shot advantage for him at this stage as he goes in search of another victory at Pretoria Country Club. Already enjoyed plenty of success here. He's won 2 Tshwane Opens in 2015 and 2018. And certainly is very, very comfortable here. Looks like Tristan Strydom is striding over to the left-hand side of the hole. Not ideal there. You certainly don't want to be right on this hole. There is a bunker that protects the fairway, and that's around 290 meters off the tee. And Strydom certainly wanting to avoid that, but it is possible. He's missed far enough left. Looks to be a pretty decent lie. Sitting down slightly though, but at least he should have a decent crack at it from there. Assuming that the trees don't block him off in any way, leaving himself probably in the region of 150, 160 meters into the flag from there. There's just a look at what Strydom has to contend with. That one big tree in front of him shouldn't be too much of an issue for him. Can elect to probably go left or right of the tree and shape it whichever way suits him. But there's his view. Doesn't look too bad for Strydom. A good miss. Missed the tree line. And that often is the case on these parkland layouts. If you miss big. Stay out of the trees and make sure that you're not in trouble. That is an excellent shot from Strydom, though. Managed to pitch it short. Obviously not too much zip on that ball, and just roll it up the slope and heading towards the hole. And that'll give him an opportunity for birdie on the 10th. Clayton Mansfield now, and his second shot. Also not too many issues with the trees, but good contact on that, and that checked up. Strydom obviously knowing the course maybe a little bit better than Mansfield does, and as a result knowing exactly what to do there. George does look like he does have a few issues with the trees here, and he's going to have to fashion or shape something here if he's to get this one close to the hole. Got to keep it low. Maybe draw it in off the trap on the right. Really good effort from Coetzee. Good control on his trajectory and spin there. And that's another look for birdie for him.
Being a professional golfer means everything to me. It's been a dream of mine to be a pro golfer for as long as I can remember. It's a passion, and when you follow your passion, you never work a day in your life. And to me, that's the most important thing about being a pro golfer, is just embracing the challenge and just enjoying every step of the journey. Geez, I love golf for a variety of different reasons, but I'd say the most enjoyable part of golf is the challenge that it presents to you as an individual. If you think about all the emotions you go through during a round of golf, it really does present you with challenges you can't really expect in other facets of your life. And I think it's important to embrace those challenges and grow from them. And as a golfer, I mean, I love every bit about it. What I miss the most about golf during the lockdown is just being out on the course itself. I mean, it's something you take for granted when it's not taken away from you. If you think about all the times you get frustrated, all the times you loathe being on the golf course, which they do happen as a professional golfer. When something like that is taken away from you during a time such as the lockdown we've just had, it really puts things in perspective, and you realize how much you actually love the game. And something as simple as just walking down a freshly cut fairway or putting on a freshly mowed green, yeah, you really realize how much you love that and how much you miss that when you don't have access to it. So I definitely missed everything about golf and being at a golf course during lockdown.
Yeah, good to hear from Andrew Williamson there. And the resumption of golf has been bumpy for most, but just incredibly grateful that we are playing competitively once again and are able to see the pros in action. This is the third event of the Sunshine Tour's Rise Up Series, the Titleist Championship. And the lead group currently through 9 holes, playing the 10th here. And this Clayton Mansfield and his attempt at birdie, really a long effort for him. He'll be doing well to leave it within 3 or 4 feet, and looks to be about that sort of range for Mansfield, and should be able to successfully negotiate his par there. 2 playing partners, Tristan Strydom and George Coetzee, also both home in 2 better looks at birdie for them. Strydom, a wonderful shot, had missed it fairly far left off the tee, and plenty of work for him to do, but great effort to get it hole high at least. George Coetzee having a good look at this one, surveying it from every angle, should know these greens fairly well. Been a member at Pretoria Country Club for many years and has enjoyed much success here as well, but taking every care possible to make sure he does cash in on this opportunity. It's been quite some run. He's been on dropped shots on his first 2 holes, bounced back with a birdie on 4, and then reeled off 4 in a row from 6 to 9, and this for 5 in a row. Should turn slightly off the right. Oh, and the flat stick is firing for Coetzee. That's 5 in a row for him, and he extends his advantage to 5. Really an impressive performance. This is what we were expecting from Coetzee. We saw signs of it in round 1. Carded a 67, 5 birdies, not a single dropped shot. Stumbled slightly yesterday with a 2 under par 70. But really is underlining his title credentials here, placing plenty of pressure on his playing partners. We'll see how Tristan Strydom responds. Also a member at Pretoria Country Club. Should also have a fairly good idea of what this one does. Looks to be drifting just a little to the right. Just drifts left of the hole for Strydom. And that should be just a par for him as he remains on 5 under, 2 over on his round today. It's been a little bit messy for him. Double bogeys on the 5th and 6th holes. That despite an eagle on the 3rd. Also dropped a shot on his 1st. It's been a little bit all over the show, unfortunately, for Strydom today. Winner of the Sunshine Tour Q School event a little earlier on in the year, but struggling somewhat today. Clayton Mansfield with his par, he remains at 1 over. Not the ideal start for him either. 5 over on his round today and struggling just a little bit. Ahead to Jaco Alers in the group in front of the lead outfit. And this his 2nd shot into the 11th. Yeah, really good effort from Jaco Alers. That'll give him a good look at birdie and potentially an opportunity to cut into the Coetzee advantage, as he's currently 4 under on his round today and 6 under in total. So that from just a few moments ago. Now Alers looking to cash in on that wonderful 2nd shot. Just hit it through the break there. Alers not cashing in on that. That's a little naughty. He'll need to make the most of those opportunities as he comes in and put all the pressure on Coetzee. Heinrich Breiners with his second shot was in a spot of bother off the tee on 13, rather on 12, and at the downhill par 5 here at Pretoria Country Club. He's given himself a good look in with his third shot, as he's also trying to apply as much pressure as possible. 3 under on his round today, and 4 under in total. Currently Heinrich in solo 6th place. There's a look at how things stand at the moment. George Coetzee with a 5-shot advantage on 11 under par. Closest to catching him, Jaco Alers 6 under, with Darren Fichardt, Peter Moorman and Tristan Strydom in a share of 3rd on 5 under. Darren, of course, the winner of the inaugural event of the Rise Up Series, the Betway Championship at Killarney. Doing what he did then, he cruised to a final round 6 under par 64 to claim victory there. Currently 6 under on his round today and applying plenty of pressure on the lead groups. Looking further down the leaderboard, not too many golfers under par at this stage. Only 14 are level or better. And certainly does prove to be tough at Pretoria Country Club. Certainly posing plenty of challenges for our Sunshine Tour golfers. Let's find out a bit more about another one.
The thing that means the most to me about being a professional golfer is all the time that I spent from when I was a junior golfer, being able to say that it's actually culminated in being on the Sunshine Tour and heading towards my dreams. Greatness really does begin here on the Sunshine Tour, and I'm looking forward to the year ahead. I enjoy the sport of golf so much because of all the small little gains you make over a long period of time. It's not always easy to see it day to day, but if you look over a long period of time and you see the success that you've had and the gains that you've made, it's a lot of fun, and hopefully in the future you get to see even more gains.
Good to hear from Dylan Naidu. Finished up his 3 rounds a little earlier on today. Rounds of 73, 75 and 77. Currently in a share of 41st spot is Dylan Naidu. As things stand though, George Coetzee running away with proceedings, 11 under par, 5 better than his closest challenger, Jaco Alers. Match 15 currently striding up the 11th fairway. Coetzee and Strydom certainly with plenty to chat about. They've obviously spent a fair bit of time with each other and in each other's company here at Pretoria Country Club. Look fairly comfortable playing alongside each other. Third and final round of the Titleist Championship. Once again, a huge thank you to Leonard Loxton and the rest of the crew at Acushnet and Titleist South Africa for coming on board and supporting the Sunshine Tour. Long-term supporters and sponsors of the Sunshine Tour. And a huge thank you to them for making events like this possible. Ahead to the 12th now, the par 5 running down the hill. And Heinrich Breiners in a spot of bother off the tee, but has recovered reasonably well here with his 3rd shot. And managed to get it back on the fairway, but the lie doesn't look terrible, so should be able to negotiate this one reasonably well. The pin on 12, 20 on and 5 from the right. Just have to be slightly careful of the 2 bunkers short here, will Heinrich. Make sure that he gets it far enough back on the green, but not too far, as the runoff areas here at Pretoria Country Club are fairly severe. He might have left that a little short, and hopefully not in the 2 bunkers that guard that flag today. Heinrich with rounds of 74 and 69. In with a shout at this stage, 3 under through his round, but looks to have made a bit of a mess on 12 here. Yes, George with his second shot into the 11th. Just missed the fairway, slightly left. Not too many issues for him. Absolutely superb from Coetzee, and that's another great look at birdie, and potentially 6 in a row for him. Martin Rowe very much in the conversation last week at the African Bank Sunshine Tour Championship, and again in the final 3 groups out there today. And a pretty good effort from Martin Rowe there on 12. Straight on 11 now. It is the safer miss, staying away from the left-hand side of that green. You can see Peter Moolman's ball just short of that, almost in line with the flag, and straight on slightly long. Coetzee is in close, just a few feet for him to potentially bag another birdie and extend his advantage over Yaku Ahlers. Coetzee has reeled off 5 in a row so far, also birdied the par 5 fourth, and that after dropping a shot on the first and the second holes. Has struggled slightly to start things off all right as Coetzee. He's dropped shots on the first hole, 2 of his 3 rounds so far. Really hasn't been ideal. Ahead to the 13th green now, and Dion Germeshuis playing alongside Keith Horn, who's there in picture. His attempt for birdie, using the putter, electing to not go with the wedge. The fringes and runoff areas here at Pretoria Country Club are in really good condition. Interesting to see Horn deciding to go with the putter. Keith Horn currently in solo 9th place after rounds of 71 and 73. 2 under on his round today. That one just drifting a little bit right. Keith Horn. Back to the 11th now, and a look at the lead group. Match number 15 out. Mansfield, Coetzee, and Strydom. Should be Strydom first to putt, followed by Mansfield, while Coetzee has hit an absolute cracker to cozy up to the flag there and potentially make it 6 in a row. Good effort from Strydom, just drifting wide of the hole. Not alone in the commentary box here at Pretoria Country Club. I am joined by Chris Swanepoel, who's taken time out of his day today to come have a chat with us. Thank you very much for joining us. How are you doing?
Oh, thank you very much, Richard. Very nice day out here today at Pretoria Country Club.
Conditions look absolutely superb today. Bit of breeze the first 2 days, but it was calm a little earlier on and just beautiful.
Yeah, it's quite chilly the first day in the morning and throughout the whole day. Second day was a lot better. Then today is an absolute stunner, the way we know Pretoria, yeah. So it's very nice weather out there. Nice day to go low.
I was a little worried that spring had maybe given us a skip when we saw what it was like on Wednesday, but fortunately it's warmed up, and as you say, just a lovely place to be when the weather is good.
Yeah, it's magnificent. There's no better place to be in springtime in this country. And such a good venue, great course, superb greens. The tournament staff did an unbelievable job, and the greenkeeping staff, and what a place to play golf here.
Chris, what a player to watch play golf. George has been phenomenal so far. This for 6 birdies in a row, running away with things a little bit at this stage.
Yeah, well, 6 birdies in a row is always nice. It doesn't matter what course you play. Yeah, even if you play Swaziland, it's always nice to have a couple of birdies in a row. But today out here, the greens are running so superbly. I mean, you hit it on the line with a good pace, it's always going to go in.
Maybe a little tentative on that one. So that'll be for par, and that ends his run at 5, but still exceptionally good at this stage for George. You mentioned the greens, 11.7 on the stimp today. So ideal conditions for you guys to cash in on.
Yeah, if you're hitting the ball in the right places on the greens, you always got a very good chance for birdie. You can leave yourself quite some tricky putts out there, but if you're hitting it in the right places, you always got a fairly good opportunity to make birdie and capitalize on a good shot.
Mansfield with his par straight. I'm looking to knock his par in as well. See if he does manage to tap it in. Stratum taps in for par, stays at 5 under. That's 6 back of our current leader, George Coetzee.
Consistency.
Your game depends on it.
Your score depends on it. Your next shot depends on it.
Consistency.
It's confidence.
Consistency. It's distance control. Consistency. It's everything.
Nothing is more important. The fact is, consistency matters. You're either playing the most consistent golf ball or you're not.
Titleist, the #1 ball in golf.
Ahead to Jaden Shaper now, and his second shot down 12. Chris, how impressed have you been by this young talent?
Well, it's just since SA Open, it's unbelievable. But it's typical of a youngster coming in with a lot of fearless golf, and what an unbelievable shot right there. Just playing fearless golf, that's the way you should play the game. Just, it doesn't matter what shot it is, and just go ahead and hit the shot.
Does certainly have all the shots, does Jaden. As Chris alluded to, a tie for 6th at the SA Open, the best finish by an amateur since Ernie Els in 1989. It was a remarkable performance. We loved watching him, and really certainly somebody to watch out for the future.
But definitely, it's quite a record to do that. I mean, since Ernie Els, it's very good. But I'm looking forward to see what his whole career looks after this. It's a good place to start in South Africa. It's not the easiest tour to make some money on. It's a good place to start, get some confidence up and go overseas.
Yeah, they say if you can make it here in South Africa, you can make it on any tour. It really is a great preparing ground for guys to play overseas. I believe Yakualos was out of bounds off the tee, and this currently his 4th shot, so not cashing in on 12 is the man who's currently in a solo 2nd place.
Oh, that's a little lucky.
There are 2 traps in front there that do guard that pin today. What's it like with the approach into that green?
Well, you can never fly it on the green unless you have 6 iron or less into that green. You won't stop it on the green. So you got to roll it up. I rolled it up quite nicely. I had a 3 iron in there, but from far away. I'm not the longest on tour. So I rolled it up quite nicely. And if you get it to back edge, it's a nice 2-putt to get in there. But you can't. You got to have less than 6 iron in to be able to stop it on the green.
It's a noticeable drop as well, sort of 3-4% drop from second shot to the green as well. How does that play into your calculations that you're making in terms of where you want to land it and hope it releases?
There's a little wet spot short of the green, about 10 yards to the right of the green and about 40 short. So if you pitch it there, it just stays there. If you pitch it a little bit left of it, where in the sun, then it releases on the green. So it's always nice. That's also like good bounce.
I think it's got a very good bounce, does it, from George. There's a couple of bunkers there guarding the right-hand side of the fairway, and he's got fortunate there. I think he knows it as well.
He knows it, definitely, he knows it.
A few words with JD, his caddy, and they know they've maybe got away with one there.
He also needs a bit of confidence to get going this oak. He showed yesterday he can go really low. He's a good, nice little guy. Still a youngster. He just needs the right break at the right time, then he can do very well.
As you mentioned, a great round yesterday. 65 to vault him in a share of the lead. Hasn't gone all his own way today. Struggled a little bit, but fighting back nicely. Currently in a share of third place. Peter Moolman is making a move as well. He's into third along with Darren Fichardt and Tristan Strydom. Well, Clayton Mansfield, the Sunshine Tour rookie, currently 1 over and also having a bit of a battle today. But there are opportunities to score on the back nine, and hopefully Mansfield will be able to take advantage of that. That's got a good kick, nicely positioned for him, and that'll roll out to a pretty good look in for him for his second into the 12th green. Let's head down again to OG Molefe on the side of 18.
Standing with me right here is Toto Timber Jr., a man who played a lot of his golf here at Pretoria Country Club. His junior golf. Toto, I know you've been working on some stuff with Grant Veenstra. A lot of positives since the Rise Up series started. You must be happy that you made it into the final round this week.
Yes, I'm quite happy with the way I've played this week. The driver behaved this week, so I've been struggling with my driver, but I'm hitting the ball good, so I'm building my confidence, so they'll get there soon.
And how's the course playing today?
The course was playing tough, to be honest with you. The flags tough, especially on 10. I mean, I was putting for birdie and I made 7, So, but I managed to play my best golf today, even though it wasn't under par, but I mean, I played very well, I'm very happy with how I'm striking the ball and how I'm putting, and
Your junior partner is doing quite well here today, George Coetzee. You've played a lot of golf with him here. It's no surprise that he's leading, is it?
Look, I mean, he has won 20 twice here, so, I mean, golf is George is a phenomenal player, and he's a member here, but not only that, I mean, he's playing good golf at the moment, and he's going to win a lot of tournaments, so I'm happy for him.
Happy to see your progress, and we'll see you when the Rise Up series continues again, Toto.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, back to you, Richie.
Thanks, OG and Toto. Toto currently in a share of 21st place after rounds of 76, 70, and 73.
So, I mean, golf is George is a phenomenal.
Back to the 12th now, and Yaku trying to save par. That unfortunately not to be. Jaden Shaper now with his eagle attempt. Chris, what does this one do? Shaper should be able to knock it in for par there. Chris, I just want to touch on something that Toto said. It's difficult to score out there. The course is not beastly, is not 2 feet rough. The greens aren't running 14, but it's just tough to make birdies here.
It is very tough, even though it's a shortish course. You get a lot of irons off the tees, and you got a lot of short irons in, but the greens are so short. You got short shots in for second, but if you miss it by 2-3 meters, you're struggling to up and down because they're all elevated. And the greens, there's some tricky lines on the greens, subtle breaks that you don't really see unless you know the golf course very well. Peter Moorman just made a good putt there. So it's not easy, and the greens are tucked. They'll come to the 15th hole. It's a very good flag there. I mean, even I hit it past the flag, and it came back all the way to the flag. There's some, if you know it, and you know it off by heart by playing well all the time, you'll know the golf course, and you'll be able to hit better shots. No wonder George is heading out here in 6 birdies in a row, because he knows the golf course the best of all of us. So he knows where to hit it, and like I said earlier, if you know where to hit it and know what to do on the greens, you'll be able to score very well.
Yeah, Koalas also knows the place pretty well, but unfortunately a drop from him on 12. Shaper with the birdie, and a good effort from him.
African Bank still offers SA's best investment rate of 12.22%. Visit africanbank.co.za for more information.
Coetzee eyeing out his second into 12 here. That does give you some sort of indication as to the drop that faces the guys. Has pulled an iron, and Chris, probably something fairly similar to what you had, and hoping to do something similar too and run it up onto the green.
Yeah, there's no real other option than running it up on this green. He's got too long in to go here to pitch it on the green and stay on the green. So even if you're in the bunker, in the middle bunker, you still find it's a fairly easy up and down. So that's probably just left of that bunker is a good line, and then if it rolls up there with a nice kick, otherwise in the bunker, then you're also fine.
I guess 5 rights, he'd probably be looking maybe left-hand side of things if he was to miss it.
Yeah, definitely. You got 2 big trees. If you go straight at this flag, there's 2 big trees, and they can easily get the ball down, and then you got a very difficult chip over 2 bunkers that you got to go in. So this will probably go left edge green, and then just try and cut it in there.
Yeah, we were talking about the right miss there, and that's maybe not where he wants to be on the pine needles there in amongst the trees. Short-sighted, but it doesn't look to be the worst place he could have possibly hit it to.
It's luckily it's winter, so you know it's not kukuyu that's green, lush kukuyu, so it'll probably just hop through the dead kukuyu, and he might have got lucky there. This is a much better angle in, so he'll probably he hits it fairly long, so he might be able to stop it on the green.
Also turning in from right to left by the looks of things. Yeah, but as you say, Chris, just almost impossible to stop it on that green.
No, you can't stop it if you go over there. He got lucky with that sprinkler, just helping him out a little bit there. So he might get a free drop there, and then a fairly easy putt from there. Where he was. This is a good tee shot down the middle.
Yeah, he's absolutely monstered this drive.
Also turning it over from right to left. Little twirl there, so he probably likes it.
Yeah, I think he managed to come in with maybe a shorter iron than the other 2 and get it to stop a little bit, but still plenty of work from the left-hand side of the green there.
Definitely a shorter iron in there. It's a popular spot that this is a very... This green actually got slower from yesterday to today. And I don't know why. They must have not cut it or something. I don't know. But it's a lot slower than you actually think. And this is a very tricky putt because it turns a lot from the left. And thought about yesterday, the flag was front left or front right, which was a lot quicker than this putt. This is actually quite slow. So I'll be surprised if he can get this to the flag.
Yeah, he's left himself right on the front edge of the green, and as Chris says, a long way to go from there. Flag 25 on. Nice to see Wynand Dingle in the mix and in contention in the final round.
Yeah, very nice. I'm happy for him. He's a good hook. He's also a friend of mine. Like I said, this putt's a lot slower, so he left it away short, which is a difficult putt that turns quite a lot from the left. Nice to see him. He's a local boy, also from Pretoria, so originally from Kradok.
You also don't want to get too aggressive with these putts as well. The one coming back can put unnecessary stress on your game.
Yeah, you can't, and that's a tricky part. You can't really go for putts on these greens unless you got an uphill into the grain. Then you can actually hit it and try and get it there. It was a great putt. Oh,
that is unbelievable birdie for Heinrich Breiners, and he looks pretty pumped about that.
Hold on, Heinrich. It's a good putt, that.
So Heinrich Breiners gets it to 4 under par, and that currently in a share of 5th place alongside Peter Mollman. Let's have a look at this again. That was just absolutely perfect from Breiners as he makes a move on the back nine, gets it to 4 under and a share of 5th. Doesn't look too bad for Coetzee in the trees there on 12.
He's short-sighted, but like I said, the little dead grass, well, looks lush. Well, not lush green, but it's greenish. So it won't be too tricky to get it up and down, yeah. Just the lies looks okay. So I think we'll put some money on him getting it up and down. Fairly flat as well.
Chris, what's he looking to do in the pine needles here? How's he trying to make contact with that? Because I guess it can be sitting a little bit up on something that's fairly loose and can puff on him.
Yeah, you just got to look at the back of the ball. As long as you get the ball first, good strike on the ball it's the main thing in this situation, and then just pick a spot and hit the spot. That was a good shot.
Yeah, really good shot from there, but has
He's
run
just
away from him.
Just releasing that little bit of speed that they got.
Difficult to get any sort of spin on that, especially from the lie that he was on.
No, there's no way you can get that thing to spin. So you got to play a sort of a popper or bump and run shot. Then, unfortunate thing with Kikuyu is you never know how it's actually gonna release after pitching. So I think it did pretty well there. Always, if you got a chance to make birdie, you're always well away. Funny that he's chipping this. I would have had a putt at this.
It's interesting to see a number of the guys electing to putt from the fringes. It seems to be very much a winter play as well on the high felt, and instead of electing to go with a wedge.
Yeah, the surroundings around the greens are cut to perfection. It's almost like you're putting on a putting green. So, I mean, instead of chipping it, the better option is, for me, is putting it. And the majority of the oaks just having to putt it. Your chances of a bad putt is always better than a bad chip. So it was funny to see that him chip that. I would have definitely thought he would putt it as well.
Chris, green's also slightly firmer, tough to control how the ball's going to bounce if you do take it the aerial route.
Yeah, for sure. And some of them has got like a little muddy patch on some spots where you tend to, it doesn't check on the second bounce, it just releases. So that's a tricky part of it. That's why I thought he would putt that. It's not a difficult putt to get up and down the two putt, but a chip, you always got something you don't know about the bounce. But the green surface is very good. So if you're a good chipper, you'll always tend to chip it. If you're not a great chipper, you'll tend to putt it and just take the odds on your side and have a two putt and off you go.
Clayton Mansfield cozying his eagle putt up. Should have no problems with the birdie there. George with a bit of work to do to cash in on this, the par 5 12th hole. George having a good look at this one, taking his time over it and giving it its due consideration. Doesn't want to be making pars on par 5s here.
He's got a big enough lead. He can make a par or 2 on a par 5.
A 6-shot advantage at this stage for Coetzee. This for a 7-stroke lead. And that's for only 12 holes. And this is the final round of the Titleist Championship. Just drifts away slightly on him. Coetzee should tap in for par. Let's head down to OG Molefe again.
Kyle Barker, back-to-back 70s to finish the week. You must be happy with your progress.
Yeah, look, it was a great finish. The last 2 days found some form. First day wasn't great, had a bad finish. I finished double-double on the last 2 holes. So yeah, look, it was a good week and managed to balance it out a bit.
Yeah, I mean, after that first Rise Up Series tournament, I'm sure you wanted a bounce back, you know, with the way you played here this week.
100%. Came out a bit rusty the last 2 weeks, well, the first 2 weeks, and to come and play here at this beautiful course, Pretoria Country Club, and to shoot some good scores again under par is a good feeling. So, yeah.
A bit of a break coming up for you guys. What will you be getting up to?
Take a bit of a rest, to have this weekend off and spend some time with my girlfriend, my mates, and yeah, get back to work on Monday and start grinding.
All right, cool. Well played this week, Carl. We look forward to seeing you in the rest of the Rise Up series.
Thanks, OG.
What it means to me is that I'm able to live out my dream of competing out here on a weekly basis in different places, playing against the best, just not in South Africa, but as well as in the whole of Africa and other people that travel from Europe and America, as it is a world tour. You know, everyone enjoys hitting a pure shot, so just the enjoyment that comes from that. But I think, you know, golf's not a game of perfect, and I kind of see it as living out how you would live in life. So there's a lot of life lessons to learn from golf, and I take that from the course to life scenarios, and it's helped me get this far so far.
Absolutely glorious conditions here at Pretoria Country Club for the third and final round of the Titleist Championship. George Coetzee currently leading the way, 11 under par in total, currently the only golfer double digits under par, and that's ahead of Darren Fichardt, who's making a bit of a run today, 6 under for his round today with Jaco Ahlers, and then playing partner Tristan Strydom in a share of second spot. Chris Swanepoel joining me in commentary. Chris, no surprise to see Darren Fichardt again in the mix.
Yeah, the old hand just coming through there, all the experience in the world. He didn't have such a nice day on the first day. His wife on the bag again. So I spoke to him yesterday. Made 3 bogeys in a row with sandwich in his hand. Wasn't too happy about it, but he pulled it back nicely in a great final round there.
That is the danger here at Pretoria Country Club.
That's the danger of Kikuyu, trying to hit a bump and run. It can just kill the ball, and you got basically the same shot again. So that's a difficult thing, and trying to flop it on the green with these greens, the dead grass under your ball, is not easy to get spin out of it. So it's not an easy shot, this. And you don't want to hit it too hard and go over the green again. So you might be chipping back from the other side.
Tried to do it again, and that just killed the bounce once more. It's the second time he's made the mistake on the back nine. Did a similar effort on the 10th hole. Went long there, short-sided himself again, gone long here again. And that's caused all sorts of problems for Jaden. Chris, maybe a little bit of inexperience there.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. It's never good to go long on 10 and never good to go long on 13, and especially with those two flags. And the ball, it's quite hot out there, so the ball's flying a little bit further than the previous 2 days. Maybe just inexperienced, but he's got a good experienced caddy, so and that's why you got a good caddy on your bag to try and give you that advice and telling you, listen, let's rather play it for 5 yards short of the flag. And a pity that he went long there on 13.
Ahead to 14 here, Heinrich Breiners, 14 playing 148 today. Also slightly downhill. Heinrich missing it shortened to the left, and that's left him with a bit of work to do for par here.
Very popular spot down there, that little bowl. It's always a popular spot. So, and it's not easy up and down from down there, whether you chip it or you putt it.
Jaco Alles for birdie there. Very tentative from him.
That putt again on 13, that thing, I don't know why it's so slow today. I did the same thing and left it short in the throat. So
Van Dingle taking the aerial route there as well. Slightly easier look for par for him there on 14.
See lots of guys just having this arm lock at the moment. Feels weird though. Not something I would
Not
try.
for you.
No, not for me. It feels too weird.
Does certainly take some getting used to, and really has changed the way people are starting to look at putting since the anchor ban came in. That, I guess, one way of doing it.
Yeah, definitely. Putting is a very personal thing, so if you feel comfortable doing something, you got to stick with it.
Martin Rowe has safely found his way onto the green here. And this for birdie.
Just hit it.
Chris, you mentioned the 13th green being a little bit slow. 14 at all?
No, 14 is the same pace as all the other greens. And I don't know why 13 maybe just, but I've seen a couple of oaks just leave it short there. In our 3-ball, all of us left it short of the hole. But I think you got a little bit scared there of it because that one didn't roll out nicely.
We did speak about Darren Fichardt a little earlier on. Currently in a share of 2nd place. And playing the 18th here. Shorten in the bunker on 18. We will follow Darren in as he looks to wrap up his round. Currently on 6 under par for proceedings. Back to Heinrich Breiners now on 14, looking to wrap up par. Not happy with that at all. Drop shot for Heinrich on 14.
Never nice to make a bogey on a shortish par 3. The wind's always swirly at this part of the golf course on 13, 14, 15 and 16. And if you're local, once again, you know the wind's always in off the right on 14 and then a little bit down on 15 and then always in again on 16. But it doesn't feel like it all the time. So Georgie will probably know it as well, as he's a local.
Yeah, Van Hunt with the par putt there. And a good effort from him on 14 as he remains in a share of 8th. Chris, we're going to say goodbye to you for now. Thank you very much for coming to have a word with us in the box today. Really do appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's nice being here. It's my first time. I hope I didn't do too bad. Thank you very much to you guys, and thanks to Pretoria Country Club for hosting this incredible event. The course is looking fantastic.
Awesome. We'll enjoy the couple of weeks off. Chris Swanepoel joining us in the commentary box to chat during the 3rd and final round of the Titleist Championship. I know he's going to be going next door to go and have a cool drink or two as he makes way for the next golfer to join us today. Really is going to be a revolving door as we take you through the conclusion of the third and final round of the Titleist Championship. George with a wonderful effort into the 13th, and that for a look at birdie. Chris has mentioned Pretoria Country Club and just what a special place it is. George, one of the members here that has taken full advantage of everything that this spot has to offer.
Yeah, I think it's 1996 when my dad finally allowed me to come to the club. And yeah, fond memories since. I remember playing my first junior event here. I think I shot, it might have been a 49 or something. I ended up winning by a couple of shots. And then I was hooked on golf and played a lot of tennis here as a kid. The snooker is a new addition for me. I'm really enjoying coming here to the snooker room and playing. Just played the club champs this week as well. But yeah, country club's got a lot to offer and it's lucky to be here.
So in the 90s, snooker was quite popular at Pretoria Country Club. So last year we decided to revive it once again. We revamped the snooker room and resurfaced the table. So for now, we've got 50 members already, so it's growing exponentially. People are loving it.
Most bar sports, I think everybody loves some bar sports, and pool was a distant relative of snooker, but after spending some time on the snooker table, I really enjoyed the fact that it's very similar to golf, except for the fact that when you finish hitting your shot in golf, you don't have to watch the other guy play, or in snooker you have to. But it's just a fun and relaxing sport with a lot of challenges and a lot of mental game to it, which I kind of relate to with the golf.
Yeah, his game has improved quite a lot. So he's been playing the past 4 or 5 months, I would guess. He's coming from a pool background, so he quickly latched on. And like I said, he's one of the best putters on tour, and he quickly mastered the game. So the monthly medals that we have every month, I think he's won 2 in a row now. Unfortunately, he fell out in the semi-finals against one of the older guys. But yeah, I mean, Georgie is a good player. He's mentally quite strong. So typically, he would come back. You're never safe with George.
Yeah, Pretoria Country Club certainly does have so much to offer, including the wonderful golf course that we are seeing the pros in action on this week. Chris Swanepoel has made way in the commentary box for a Pretoria Country Club member, James Hart-Dupree. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Yeah, sure. It's my pleasure. It's quite a cool experience to see what goes on behind the scenes with the production and the commentary. So, yeah, hopefully I can enjoy it.
James, you haven't made your way over to the snooker room yet, have you?
I've watched George play a ton of snooker during the lockdown, funny enough. Him and you saw the snooker captain, Pete, would play for hours at a time once they were allowed to play. But no, I haven't gotten into it yet. But looking how George is playing, maybe I should start.
Yeah, I say there's a lot of similarities between that and golf in terms of how you approach things, and it is wonderful what Pete has done in getting the snooker section of the club up and running. Certainly one of just the many things that are on offer here at Pretoria Country Club. It's a special place to be a part of, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's the premier course in Pretoria for sure, with the activities that they offer and the standard of the activities, I think, as well. The squash courts and tennis courts are always in fantastic nick, and as you saw, the pool room, which tends to be a fringe activity for most clubs, is taken super seriously. So everything is always in fantastic nick, which is always good to see.
I believe the bowls facility is also one of the best in the country. Tennis, there's literally everything and anything you could possibly want to do here at Pretoria Country Club.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think the committee's done a good job with bowls. We've actually started having some youth brides at the bowls, which has turned out to be a lot of fun.
A lot of Sunshine Tour Pros members here. Tristan Straight on one of them as well. How much do you guys get to play together and spend a bit of time?
Yeah, look, once the lockdown allowed us to play, we played money games 4 or 5 times a week, most of the time playing on Country Club. So him and I mean, Tristan and I have been playing golf together, traveling since we were about 7 years old, so I think him and I are pretty sick of each other.
Nice to see him in the mix, though. Bit of a struggle today, but still in with a shout.
Yeah, he's a really good player. I think he's been unlucky with injury the last couple of years and had a dip in form. So to see him at the top of the leaderboard is always good. And I think regardless of what happens today, he'll take a lot of positives out of it.
Managed to win Q School a little earlier on in the year at Houghton. I'm sure you'd have taken a lot of confidence from that. Important to get those sort of victories along the way to help build the momentum.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think that was a big moment for him because he had lost his card the previous season, and then just to show some of the same form that he did as an amateur. He's got the capabilities in his bag to go super low around some courses, as he showed at Houghton that week.
Ahead to Darren Fichardt now on 18 in his third shot.
Yeah, there's a tough little chip up the hill to the right flag, but Darren's short game is phenomenal, so he shouldn't have too much trouble.
Maybe checked up a little bit on him, not releasing how he would have hoped it would have, but still an outside look there for birdie, and that will potentially get him to 8 under par for his round, and solo second on a 7 under. Trying to apply as much pressure on this man in picture as possible, but Coetzee is just looking in a league of his own. This for another birdie on 13.
Yeah, he's left his second shot in the perfect position for this flag. It's an uphill putt, maybe slightly left to right. I'll put money on it that Georgie will give the hole a scare. Looks like I got the commentator's curse down in my first go behind the booth.
Still a par, has come a little off the boil since the 10th hole, reeled off 5 birdies in a row, but doing just about everything that he needs to do to hold on to his advantage.
I think if Darren can knock this in and post a number, you never know what might happen on the closing holes.
Just drifts a little to the right, but we did see what he did a couple of weeks ago at Killarney in the first event of the Rise Up Series at the Betway Championship. That 64 in the final round was unbelievable, and well, not to be today, but still an excellent effort from him.
Yeah, it's a great birdie for Yaku. He's one of the top consistent performers on tour, and I think as the season gets rolling, he'll always be one to look out for.
Oodles of experience, turned pro in 2006, pretty decent trend. He was tied for 24th at the Betway Champs, tied for 6th last week at Glendower, and certainly showing a positive trend.
Vokey SMA elevates the icon with one giant shift forward.
How good is that? Super clean. What about the performance side?
What we've done with SMA is make a seemingly simple adjustment that is actually very challenging. We shifted weight from the top line into the toe and hosel, pushing the CG forward of the face for a wedge that feels like it wants to squirt.
That felt amazing.
Best results we've ever seen.
To the 14th now, the lead group out on the course, match 15. Coetzee, Stradom and Mansfield just trying to get a feel on this hole. 148 playing 140, slightly downhill. James, what are they looking at here?
Yeah, it's a short little par 3 downhill. The flag today is back right with the wind lightly off the right, so it's not too tough a shot, but if you do tend to get it riding on the wind, it'll miss the green left into a little swale. So the perfect place for Tristan to be looking is about 10 foot right of the hole, just to leave it underneath as well. Tristan's got the swaggy glasses going today as well.
Looking very sharp.
Yeah, that should be all right there.
Haven't seen a lot of people get close to this flag on 14.
Yeah, I think as Chris alluded to, this part of the course, the wind tends to swirl a lot, and you can't really trust the direction that it's been playing the whole day. that definitely makes it tricky on the shot, as well as being above the level of the green.
Bit of an intersection, this part of the course. The golfers you see in picture there moving across to 17. But certainly is an eventful part of the course. There's opportunities for just about anything to happen, and a great sort of finishing stretch to proceedings here at Pretoria Country Club.
Yeah, 14 and 16 being two tough par 3s, 17 being a drivable par 4, and 18 a reachable par 5. So I think anyone within a couple shots the lead would have a go. Let's see if they can post a number, but George might just be a little too far ahead.
Yeah, at this stage, a 5-shot advantage over Darren Fichardt and Jaco Ahles. George Coetzee on 11 under par, 4 under on his round today, and looking very comfortable in that position. It's the safe spot to land it, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a lot of local knowledge right there, leaving it under the hole, and even on that line, if he pulled it, that swell wouldn't come into play. So perfect play there by Georgie. I think his tournament record here, he's won twice, this potentially being his 3rd win. I don't know if there's many other players in world golf that are that good on their home course, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he's absolutely dominated it, but it took a while to achieve that. He said he won basically nothing until his first Tshwane win in 2015, and since then he's looked unstoppable, but it took a while to get the first one.
Yeah, so Georgie and I, we coached by the same coach, Llewellyn van Leeuwen, and so we spent a lot of time together practicing as well, and he got up to 42nd in the world without a win, which just shows you how consistent he was over a long period of time. But yeah, once he did win, they started coming in rapid succession.
10 Sunshine Tour wins in total, 4 on the European Tour, and 2 of those, as James alluded to, the Tshwane Open when it was held here a couple of years back. 4 years in a row, 2015 to 2018, and Coetzee a 2-time winner of that event. Some big names also won that event. You look at Charles Schwartzel and Dean Burmester. It's fortunately been an event that's been mainly dominated by South Africans.
Yeah, the co-sanction events, obviously co-sanction between the European and Sunshine Tour, have been absolutely dominated by South Africans, which I think speaks to the advantage you have of knowing the courses and the conditions as well. But I'd love to see a couple of those tournaments come back into the schedule if obviously the pandemic allows it later on in the year.
Still a few potential events looming. Great opportunity for our local professionals to show their wares on the world stage.
Yeah, that is a fantastic putt. That putt was basically down a mine shaft, so you could see Heinrich barely touched that ball and luckily found the middle of the hole.
Match 15, final group out on the course. Our lead group and our lead player, George Coetzee, at the moment with a 5-stroke advantage. Everybody trying their best to put some pressure on him. Try and reel him in, but certainly a handy advantage built up around the turn, and one that he doesn't look like relinquishing anytime soon.
Yeah, Georgie actually decided he was going to miss this tournament and fly to Valderrama to play on the European Tour this week, but I think he made a very good decision in staying to play this week. I think if he carries on the way he's playing for the next couple of holes, he'll be going into his European stretch in a very, very good mind space.
Trending positively, missed the cut at the Betway Championship, the first event back since professional golf resumed, but tied second last week at Glendower, and well on course for a win here at Pretoria Country Club. Did speak to his caddy a little earlier on in the week, JD, and they were talking about the importance of not being the most underprepared golfer when you get there, but that's the danger, I guess, if you get a little bit too aggressive with that shot.
Yeah, that's that swale that I was speaking about with the tee shot. You can't see it on the camera, but it's about 6 foot below the level of the green. And in wintertime, that grass becomes extremely grainy, so to get good contact on the chip is very tricky.
James, seen a lot of guys trying to bump and run their efforts around the greens. As Chris was saying, that does come with its own set of perils. It's a shot fraught with danger. and one pretty difficult to control.
Yeah, funny enough, they actually, around these greens, they cut everything away from the putting surface, which makes the grain of the grass grow away. So every chip you have is actually into the grain. And what I've noticed over the years of playing here is shots like Clayton had previously in the swale, I would tend to run it up with a 3-wood just because it kind of gets rolling as quick as possible, because the chipping, you can make yourself look quite silly in a hurry.
Not a sexy shot for professionals, though. They don't seem to like the little bump and run with a hybrid or a 3-wood.
Yeah, and luckily there's no pictures on the scoreboard, but whatever gets it closest to the hole, I guess.
Yeah, these guys don't tend to favour that all that much, but it is an incredibly effective shot, and one that I think a lot more should be looking at.
Yeah, talking about Clayton, this is his first season after the Big Easy Tour. He played well enough to get his category through the Order of Merit, which is a very, very good season for him. So for him to compete this early on is also very encouraging to see.
Yeah, just third Sunshine Tour event for him, which is quite remarkable to see him in the lead group here in the final round.
Let's see if the Ray-Bans get Tristan the help he needs to hold this putt.
Oh, it's a really good effort from Tristan. Should be a par for him on 14 as he remains in a share of second place.
Just seems to be a day of near misses for him.
To the 15th now, Heinrich Breiners, 16. Another difficult par 3. It was positively beastly yesterday and pretty tough.
Yeah, that 16th, they've actually moved the tee up today. I think they saw the scores after yesterday and kind of took pity on the pros, but still definitely not an easy hole by any stretch.
Yeah, it was coming. It's been a while coming, and George with another birdie there on 14. Certainly looking very comfortable.
I'd love to say I'm surprised that he held that putt, but I've known him long enough to know that any putt has got a chance to go in.
Jaco is here on 15. Interesting pin position here on 15.
Yeah, I don't know what Gary Todd was thinking when he put out this pin. It's incredibly mean because that green sits at a severe angle and he's put it right at the top. So as you can see, all of those balls, the pros will try and stay away from that pin because if you miss the green long, you've got an almost impossible up and down.
Jaden Shaper with his second. Blocked off by the Willows there and electing to lay up and try and wedge it close and make par that way. That's a really good shot. Tough to get close to that flag as well, especially when you're coming over that little mound there.
Yeah, that flag's cut really close to the right side of the green, and everything kind of feeds away from the hole. So it's a very good shot there by Martin Rowe.
Yeah, Clayton Mansfield here just showing the problems that can come with getting on the wrong side of things here.
Yeah, golf is a mean sport. When things aren't going your way, you can try whatever you want, but it just seems to get away from you, which unfortunately looks like it's done today for Clayton. But again, I think, objectively speaking, he'll look back on this week and be proud of his game for getting himself into contention with 1 round to go.
Certainly would have learned a lot from playing alongside George Coetzee. How much are you picking up from guys like that when you are paired with them?
Yeah, George is... I'm going to interrupt you, Richard.
Yeah.
That putt that Jaden Shaper has now is going to be unbelievably tricky to judge. But coming back to Georgie, I think I learned a lot more about his mindset towards the game than necessarily his game plans. Our games are extremely different, but I've always admired his attitude and the way that he goes about his business. And even you saw in that special about the snooker, he approaches that as kind of conditioning for his golf game. And I think he's been on the European Tour since 2007 and never ever lost his card. So that just speaks to his mental strength.
James, I'm curious about what you guys are like normally when it comes to other sports. I mean, as a social game of table tennis become competitive for you guys? You generally have that competitive edge through everything you do.
Yeah, I don't think there's such a thing as a social game of anything, to be honest with you. I mean, just before golf opened up, myself and Georgie played squash against each other, and it's all smiles until the game starts. I think any athlete has that competitive drive in him. You can play Monopoly and things will get hairy, so...
It is what sets you guys apart from the rest, that edge, and something that you need to hone and maintain.
Yeah, I think it was an interesting approach that George took during the off weeks of playing snooker. I mean, he would play from 10 o'clock in the morning till 5 o'clock in the evening. I mean, 7 hours of focus. He would play money games is very impressive. Wynand's actually left his ball in a really good spot for this flag. It might be a long putt, but he can be nice and aggressive with it up the hill.
Certainly plenty of attention given to that putt, and that should be tapped in for Wynand Dingle. Nice to see him in the mix in the final round of the Titleist Championship. He stays in a share of 9th position, and a top 10 will be most welcome for Wynand Dingle.
Yeah, he's had a mixed bag of results the last couple of seasons, so for him to start off or get a top 10 this week would obviously be good.
Marlowe's coming up the hill for birdie, but tough putt. Be interesting to see what Shaper does there. As you alluded to, that's not fun where he's left himself there.
Yeah, I saw him playing around with the lob wedge. I think that's youthful exuberance, because I think most pros would end up taking a putter and just knocking it down that hill.
Certainly plenty of experience from Heinrich Brain, as he's also been around for ages. Only won once on the Sunshine Tour, though, and certainly a record he'd look to improve on, and is definitely good enough and deserves to bag another couple of victories.
Yeah, Heine's a fantastic playmaker. He plays a lot on feel and gets a bunch of good results every season.
Not the worst result from Jaden Shaper there.
Yeah, you can't buy those hands at Woolies, eh?
Talking about Heinrich Brain, as he's a guy who thinks a lot about the game as well, and he's one of the more cerebral golfers out there.
Yeah, I think golf is really fun when that happens. It really tends to get on your nerves. But coming back to Heine, I think the amount of thinking he does translates into him being able to play really freely, I think he does a great job of separating the technical and scoring aspects of the game.
Arles with the par on 15. He stays in the hunt. 6 under par, 4 under on his round today. Had a bit of a blip in proceedings yesterday after opening with a 69, a 73 yesterday. Back to his best today. It seems to be slightly easier today in terms of conditions-wise and in terms of scoring opportunities.
Yeah, I think that's down to the weather. The first day was obviously extremely difficult with the cold front coming through, and then yesterday there was a tricky breeze. But yeah, I think the weather clearing up today have made the greens a touch more receptive, and I think the guys are just getting used to the course, actually.
Getting used to winter golf as well. I guess it's been a bit of an adjustment from the opening round of Killarney through to Glendower, and this week to Pretoria Country Club.
It's a really good shot by Tristan. He's going to be left with a difficult putt there, but still great iron shot nonetheless. Yeah, look, I think the Joburg courses tend to get the worst of the weather. The Pretoria Country Club actually doesn't ever go too white because there's a massive mountain that stops all the cold from coming through. So this is about as white as our course has been the whole of the winter, which has been good.
Yeah, it has been in immaculate condition this week, and truly testament to everybody involved for putting out a course in such good condition. Clayton not loving that one.
Yeah, finding the bunker just short of the green. Yeah, it's very difficult once you get into the space that Clayton's in now to snap out of it and just get back to regulation golf.
George in position A here on 15.
Yeah, he has roughly about 155, 160 to this pin, and I'd be very surprised if he goes anywhere close to pin high.
Somewhere where Yaku hit his?
Yeah, man, you never know the confidence that George is carrying. He might just go for it. Yeah, that is local knowledge right there, not flirting with that flag at all.
Certain flags you don't go at, and that being one of them. Guess he'd be pretty happy to take his par and run from there.
Yeah, I think if Georgie pars his way in, it'll be very difficult for someone to catch him. Although Yaku, funny enough, he can go 4 under the next 3 holes, as there's a drivable par 4 on 17 and a reachable par 5 on 18 with 2 possible eagle chances coming in.
Yeah, it would certainly apply the pressure on George, who's looking very comfortable at this stage. To 16 now. We've just seen Yaku shot from a little bit earlier on. And this Peter Willman.
Yeah, it's good to see Peter up at the leaderboard as well. He was on tour many years ago, then took a break from golf and has come back. So it's very good to see him competing once again.
$17 now.
Yeah, funny to see Heine pull an iron off the tee. Obviously sticking to a predetermined game plan. He'd have maybe 110, 100 meters from there, so possibly relying on a wedge distance he's comfortable with.
17 playing in the region of 300 meters or so today. It's up forward as well a little bit.
Yeah, they moved the tee up today, I think, to make things exciting close to the end, which Georgie seems to be taking the possibility of that away. But it's about 295 to the front of the green. So most players in the field this week would be having a go.
Yeah, just a reminder, George Coetzee in complete control of proceedings. 12 under par at this stage. That a 6-shot advantage over 3 other golfers. Darren Fichardt, who a little while ago posted 65 to move into a share of second. Jaco Arles is still out on the course, 4 under in his round today, 6 under in total. And Coetzee's playing partner Tristan Stradom, who's 1 over on his round today, and also 6 under. Heinrich Brain is also trying to apply the pressure, currently rounding out the top 5, and he's on 4 under, 3 under on his round today.
Seems like things are unfortunately going from bad to worse for Clayton.
Don't know what sort of lie he had in the bunker, but that not the best of results for him. Maybe even a little higher up the bank and even more difficult than Jaden Shaper had a bit earlier on.
Yeah, let's see, Clayton's a bit older, so I don't know if he's got the hands of a young Shaper, so we'll see what tactics he uses to get down the slope.
The hands and the nerve. The pace is getting a little bit quick as well for him. He needs to slow things down a smidge and take his time over these.
Yeah, when you are in that situation, you can't see that you tend to get things going a bit faster, but I think this is where a good caddy is really valuable in telling him to take his time and basically just come back to basics with regards to his game plan and shot decisions.
Not the worst result from him, but I guess tough for him to adjust, in particular coming from Durban. To switch to Highveld golf, especially in winter, is difficult.
Yeah, even for guys in the Highveld, the winter golf is such a change. I find particularly this course, at least 4 shots tougher in winter, just because holding the greens and the dog legs become a lot tougher. This is a fantastic shot from Wynand Dingle on the 17th.
Pitch that just shy and bounced that on, so he should have a look at eagle there, which would certainly shake things up for Wynand Dingle. George now back on 15. Be surprised if he made this, but with George, I guess anything's possible.
Yeah, look, this is a tough putt, moving from his left to right up the hill. Actually, once it starts turning, it turns downhill, which makes it very difficult to judge the speed. But Georgie, if I had to put money on someone to give the hole a scare, it would be him. Funny enough, I played a money game against him for the first time 2 weeks ago, and he had to pay me. So watching him win makes me feel a little bit better knowing that he had to pay me a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, that's all he needs to do going in the last couple of holes.
Coetzee looking very comfortable at this stage of proceedings. I guess it's easy to be comfortable when you're 6 clear and playing on your home track. Heinrich, who elected to lay up, an interesting option from him on 17. James, as you say, definitely a plan in mind and one that he's sticking to regardless.
Yeah, this would most likely be a wedge distance that he's very comfortable with and will give him the distance in order to spin it. So, yeah, I think off the tee it might have been the wrong call because the front of this green is extremely firm. So even coming in with a lob wedge, as Heine would have done, is very difficult to stop it with that flag that's not too deep into that green.
Jaco Ahles here on 16, a little long. That's left him a tricky one coming back, but Jaco electing to putt from just off the green. Bit steamy there.
Yeah, that's a very difficult putt to judge down the slope there.
Has at least left him an uphill one coming back for the par, so not a terrible result for Jaco Ahles. Plenty of experience there from him as well. Been around for many years, pro since 2006, 9 victories on the Sunshine Tour, 270 events. You learn a little bit about your game when you played that long.
I did not know it's that many events, but yeah, that's incredible that he's been around on tour for so many years. I think he'd be disappointed that he doesn't at the moment have status on other tours. I know he was on the European Tour for a season or two not too long ago, and I'm sure he'd be looking to get back there once things normalize after the pandemic.
Certainly good enough to compete on that level.
Yeah, for sure. You see him season after season competing in the co-sanctions. He was, I think, in the final group in the SA Open earlier this year as well.
Coetzee tapping in for par on 15, and Ahles now with the one coming back on 16.
Oh no.
It's robbed.
We have a saying at Country Club called the Country Club jinx. It's on these greens, once you start walking in a putt, the ball knows it and misses the hole almost every time.
Unfortunate for Jaco there to drop a shot on 16, not the time or the hole to be doing that on. Not happy with it at all. Wynand Dingle now with his eagle attempt. James, what's this one doing?
This putt should move right to left, right at the end. Midway through the putt should be pretty straight. It's a very flat putt, so Wynand can be nice and aggressive with this putt.
Currently 1 under and in the top 10 at this stage of proceedings. Only level on his round today, so this is much needed for Wynand.
I think Wynand should be a little disappointed that he's let that eagle putt short. But birdie nonetheless on 17, and hopefully he can take advantage of the reachable par 5 on the last hole.
Yeah, at this stage of proceedings, you want to be a little bit more aggressive than that, in particular on your penultimate hole. He's trying to make a move up the leaderboard. So Wynand Dingle getting it to 2 under par at this stage, and that good enough for solo 9th. Our lead group have made it to the 16th now.
Tristan Tom Cruise Stradom on the 16th tee. Let's see what he can do on the par 3.
He's owning those aviators.
Yeah, Tristan always has a statement piece in his outfit for the day, so I guess today I had to go with the shades.
Absolutely greased that one.
That is not where you want to be for that hole, but Tristan does have very, very good hands, so he would have a good chance of up and downing that.
James, what's that? Trying to be a little bit too aggressive, wrong club. What's gone on there?
Well, we alluded to the fact that the wind swirls a lot on this part of the course, and I think you could see Tristan looking up at the trees to try and figure out what's going on, because for a pro to be that far off with his club selection is definitely something that they can't feel on the tee to result in his shot being so far off the mark.
Coetzee, our leader now, 12 under par, his tee shot on 16.
George will probably be looking to hit this 25-foot left of the hole, which would be towards the middle of the green. Just with the massive cushion that he has, I don't think he'll be doing anything too fancy.
Pretty good effort from George.
Exactly what he needed.
Back to Heinrich Brainers on 17.
Oh, the broomstick did not get it done, unfortunately, on that hole, but that's going to be a par for Heine with a birdie chance coming up on the next.
Maybe the wrong option off the tee for him. Could have been a bit more aggressive, but difficult. And the last member of our final group out on the course, Clayton Mansfield on 16.
Yeah, let's see if Clay can just play these last 3 holes with some solid golf and finish the round with a relatively good taste in his mouth.
Not a bad effort from there from Clayton Mansfield. James, thank you so much for joining us in the commentary box today. We really do appreciate it. It's been wonderful getting your insight, a man who knows this course exceptionally well. Enjoy the couple of weeks off now that you have before the next event hits us.
Yeah, Richard, thanks so much for the opportunity. It's awesome to see what goes on behind the scenes, and we appreciate everything you guys do to promote the tour, and hopefully to see you soon.
Awesome. Thank you very much. James Hart-Dupree joining us in commentary today as we wrap up proceedings at the Titleist Championship here at Pretoria Country Club. George Coetzee looking very comfortable at this stage of proceedings. 5 under par in his round today, 12 under in total. And Tristan Stradom closest to catching him, 5 shots back. He's where he began the day, level par through 15 holes. While Darren Fichardt has posted the joint lowest round of the week, a 7 under par, 65 today, and that's got him into red numbers for the tournament. 6 under and in solo third. Looking a little further down the leaderboard there in a share of 15th, we just had a word with him, James Hart-Dupree, 2 under par in total, level on his round today, and another good finish from him. Jaden Shaper out in the penultimate group today. He's made a bit of a slide down the leaderboard, unfortunately. 4 over on his round, 2 over in total. Toto Timber Jr., we heard a little earlier on as he wrapped up his round. Rounds of 76, 70 and 73 to sign for 3 over par and a share of 22nd. Just a reminder there, George Coetzee leading the way in the final round of the Titleist Championship here at Pretoria Country Club. The musical chairs in the commentary box continues as a regular face and voice during the course of the Rise Up series. Thomas Abt, Deputy Commissioner of the Sunshine Tour, joins us today. Thomas, welcome once again.
Thanks, Rich. Very lucky and blessed to be here. Very excited. We actually chatted a day ago saying, if you work and you enjoy what you do, it's not really work. It's what you love doing. And I'm very blessed to be able to say I love what I do. So I'm very lucky. So very excited to be here. Exciting round of golf. But looks like George is leading the way quite comfortably by 5 now. So Let's see how Tristan does, yeah.
Thomas, of course, sporting the Sunshine Tour buffs, which we spoke about last week. They have been a massive hit as we look to resume golf in the COVID-19 times. We are, of course, Perspex protected here. A nice divider between us. The buffs, the sanitization, the Health Docs app. You guys really are taking every precaution necessary to make sure that the professionals and staff are protected.
Absolutely. Just to carry on about the buffs is we've actually been there've been such demand. We've actually had to go get some more. So our order came through last evening. So at the next few Rise Up events, we'll have some more buffs for some of the players that don't have. So yeah, Rich, going back to your statement, is we've had to do everything correctly. We are the pinnacle of professional sport on the golfing front. People look up to us. We need to make sure we do things properly. And very lucky that our team has bonded together and done what they had to do. So far, so good. We've had no issues, no problems, no challenges. The beginning weeks were a little different. The guys weren't too sure how to use the app and how it worked and what was really necessary. But we're at the point now where it's kind of second nature. Everybody knows they need to do it. And also important as well, we need to do this with the aim for what may happen in the next couple of months for our future big events. So we need to get a system that works, and so we trialed and tested, so very happy.
Koala's on a 17 there. If he gets lucky, he won't be in too much trouble there on the drivable par 4. Thomas, I reckon you need to get a few more buffs, put them on the website and let people buy them. They really are wonderful items and certainly as handy as you can possibly get in these times.
Absolutely. So we're in charge of professional golf and selling buffs. I think it's a great mission statement, that one, Rich. Definitely something we're going to put on the website. Thank you. And just tip the cap to your wife the other day, which I was super excited about on her radio station. She started mentioning golf and the Rise Up series, so I was very happy to hear that, Rich. So whatever you're doing after you go home after work and saying to us, so thank you very much for getting us some mileage on the radio stations as well.
We spread the word as far and wide as we possibly can, and of course great work being done by the team behind the scenes. Michael Flismus and the rest of the crew are in charge of disseminating the information and the stories that do crop up at these sort of events, and really just a wonderful team behind the scenes that do share the stories and spread the word.
Yeah, we're lucky as George on 16. Yeah, legged it up there. Another par for him. Yeah, so we've got a strong team around us. We're trying to do things differently, and that's what we're driving home. Hence our streaming. Hence the different competitions, hence the different look of what we created, and we'll touch on that just now. But we need to do things differently. We can't stay the same, different times. So a couple of new things coming up in the near future. Again, just to be different, so people can go, oh, these guys, they're not just boring professional golfers. They do some creative, clever things too.
Certainly the streaming being one of them. It has been a massive hit. The Facebook page of the Sunshine Tour, the YouTube channel, and DSTV now, plenty of options for people to watch the final round of these events live. And that's key to see how these sort of golfers do go about things and have live golf back.
Absolutely. And we've also got our show with Michael Flismus called Out of Bounds, where he interviews professionals and people within the golf industry just to get a bit more insight and not really to understand what professional golfer's best shot was, but to understand a little bit more about what type of person he is as well. So that's on Tuesday evenings at 6 o'clock on our Instagram page. Again, just a new thing, something different. We're trialing it, seeing how it goes. And keep on adding different ideas and going forward. And another thing we started to do in the Rise Up series just around our live scoring, where previously we had a team of nomads out on the golf course assisting us and putting the scores in. We've actually started to rely on our professional golfers to do it themselves with our mobile devices. We've had a few challenges as we go. It hasn't all been smooth sailing. But this week's been much better. And hole-by-hole scores is a lot better for our fans to watch during the tournament as well.
Certainly wonderful to be able to follow proceedings as they happen. Pars all round for our final group out on the course. Koala's now on 17. And that is the danger. You thud it into those banks and it can do pretty much anything, but still in with a good opportunity to make birdie here on 17. The third and final round of the Titleist Championship, and what a finish we have in store for us. George Coetzee looks to be fairly comfortable and cruising at this stage. Titleist, another brand key to the Sunshine Tour. The partnership has been long-standing and one that's now developed and evolved into actually hosting an event.
Absolutely, and we need to say thanks to Leonard and Jesse from Titleist in South Africa. When we presented the concept and idea to them, they were very quickly say yes, and they were like, oh shucks, maybe we should just check with our counterparts in the USA. And when they came back, it was a yes, let's do this. So we're very lucky. They've been a tour partner for a very long time. They assist our players on the range. They hit probably ones every day to practice and warm up before tournaments. They assist our staff with clothing and apparel, and also the guys that are contracted to Titleist get their batch of balls, equipment and apparel from them as well. So we're very lucky to have them as a partner. And I keep on saying this long may it continue with them. They've been fantastic, and I'm very, very pleased that Leonard and Jesse said yes, let's do this.
Certainly a wonderful opportunity for them, and certainly great supporters of the Sunshine Tour professionals. They are one of the brands that you see most visibly when you walk down the range on any given day. A lot of the professionals are playing the Titleist clubs and balls, and certainly is incredibly popular amongst these guys.
Yeah, and then I see Jaden sponsored by another brand out there, and a good friend of ours, Tyrell Lorette, used to look after that brand, and as I said last week, he used to help Jaden since he was 12 years old. And Solly, his caddy over there, one of our SACA executive members as well. So hell of a team over there, and we expect Jaden to do some fantastic stuff in the near future.
I think if he can tie together the final round performances, he'll certainly be in with a shout. The last two events, he's been tied for the lead at Glendower and tied 6th at Killarney, heading into the final round. Not been the sort of finish he would have wanted, 15th and 6th respectively, but certainly something that he'll learn from and be able to improve on in the future.
Absolutely, he's a youngster. But again, I look at the leaderboard over there. There are so many young guys coming up and all the way through, and it's all about our mission statement going, greatness begins here. Exactly. Well done, Yaku. There we go. Yaku climbing up our Betway Birdie Challenge leaderboard there. He was leading going into this round over here. So he seems very excited over there. He's playing to his caddy what he should have done the last few holes, but well done, Yaku. But yeah, we've got a young stable of guys coming through. Greatness does begin here. And as they succeed over here, they move on to the bigger stages. So we're quite pleased with that. And there's our Tristan bashing it down there too. Ooh.
Unbelievable.
Sure.
James was saying a little earlier on, 295 to the front edge of that green. Had a little look earlier, and about 305 or so to the flag. And Tristan straight on carrying it almost the entire distance.
Sure. Got some game there. So George also looks like he's got driver. Yeah, I'm going to try to do the same, I think.
It is a hole these guys will try and cash in on.
I think so. Short enough, even when they put us off in our members' day, or when we get to play at the course, we're about 40 boxes forward. I got head driver, and then still a little, probably a 7-iron afterwards to get on the green. So these guys know what they're doing.
Looks like it's left a little bit further up from where Yaku Alas was, but that's not the worst place to be at all as he heads towards the finishing stretch here at Pretoria Country Club. Hard to forget that shot that he played, having missed right during the Tshwane Open. Thomason, and if you remember that, managed to run it up through the bunkers, having headed right on 17. So knows where to miss here, and has the experience, having played and fared well here in the past. Those two Tshwane Open wins, just another illustration of the sort of opportunities that you guys provide for the Sunshine Tour members.
Absolutely. George is one of those guys who keeps on promoting this club. And I joked last week when he was just saying, I'm a member here. And every conversation we had with him was around a member this, I'm a member, let's do this, let's do that. A nice little break over there. So, yeah, so George is a hell of a player, obviously, with winning the Tshwane Open twice at Pretoria Country Club. So definitely home ground advantage does help. If everybody says it doesn't, then they're lying.
Clayton Mansfield in a similar position to where George was that I was speaking about a little earlier on in the Tshwane Open. Heinrich Brain is now for eagle on 18, and this would certainly be a grandstand finish for him. But not to be for Heinrich Brain. There's a good opportunity for a birdie. And speaking of Titleist and speaking of Leonard Loxton, let's head down to OG Molefe.
Thank you, Richard. Leonard with me, Leonard Titleist Championship. You guys have had a long relationship with the tour. You must be excited to see this championship happening here this week.
Absolutely, it's been a pride for us. It's you know, in my hometown, I couldn't ask for anything better. But yeah, we're very privileged to be involved, and you know, we treasure the relationship we have with the tour for a long time now.
So for you guys, it was a no-brainer to actually jump on board and bring a tournament on the Rise Up series.
Absolutely, I think it's a, you know, what better time there is to give back to the players and make sure that we get the show on the road, so to speak.
And it's been a good week, hasn't it?
Yeah.
You got George, one of your players, a guy who grew up here, who's doing well this week as well.
Absolutely, it's been a fairy tale up until now. I mean, we had Tristan Stradom had a phenomenal round yesterday, and he won tour school, and he's also one of our brand ambassadors. So to see him and Georgie up there it's quite good to see.
Yeah, and you must be happy as well with the players you guys are involved with on tour. I mean, the Sunshine Tour, obviously the players also happy to be back, and you guys looking after them as well during lockdown.
Absolutely. I mean, it's an important part for us, and like I said, you know, we value the opportunity to be involved with the players in this caliber. I mean, it's a place and a stage for us to test our product performance capabilities and showcase it to the best players in the world. And many of them started their careers on the Sunshine Tour. So for us, it's a privilege to be a part, and we're humbled by the opportunity.
And is this a tournament you'd like to see moving on and happening again and again moving forward in the future?
Absolutely. I mean, this is small steps, but we can definitely grow it from here.
Well, Leonard, thank you for actually agreeing to join the tour and, you know, boosting the Rise Up series with another championship. Richard, is back to you.
I'm our brand ambassador, so
thanks very much, OG and Leonard Loxton, of course, from Acushnet and Titleist, supporting this, the third event of the Rise Up series with the Titleist Championship. Heinrich with a birdie to finish and a good effort from him. Really impressive to see Heinrich Brain is in the mix again and performing nicely on the tour.
I must just check what time Heine got up this morning, because that shirt of his is rather an interesting one. If I remember correctly, I think this is good luck shirt, and I know Tiger Woods has got his red apparel for Sunday. I think Heine's got his, I'm not sure what that is, a dodo or a bird on his shirt, but interesting choice there, Heine.
He was excited to wear that last week. He said he was saving it for the final round and trotted it out on Friday last week, and it's made its appearance again, and it's certainly helping with the way he's faring.
Yeah, good on you, H. Who says we're superstitious? I don't believe that.
Good enough for a share of fifth at this stage of proceedings, 5 under par for Heinrich Brainers, and we love to see him do well. He is one of the nice guys out on tour, and certainly one that we root for on a weekly basis. This our lead group now that's reached 17. We've already seen Tristan Stradom headed through the green. George has missed a little bit to the left, and Clayton Mansfield now short and right. Thomas Clayton, a rookie on the Sunshine Tour. This is just his third event, and he's out in the lead group. Just goes to show you, these guys hit the ground running.
Absolutely, they got some game. I know that Tristan's hero is George Coetzee. So a really nice outing for these youngsters over here. I'm scared to say youngsters, because these they're big and strong. If I look at James Hart Dupree, who walked out in front of me into the booth here, like a mountain of a man. So it's amazing that we've got such talented youngsters coming through, and long may it continue.
Such nice people as well. Just an absolute pleasure to deal with on just about every level that you're associated with.
Yeah, and also I think the professional golfers also want to perform to their best ability, but believe me, Rich, when something doesn't go according to what they believe, they'll let you know. Trust me. So and James used the analogy a little earlier on, tight-knit family. Yeah, but when things don't go the way, trust me, they'll pop up and say, say what it is, but overall it's a really good bunch of youngsters coming through, and I hope maybe not this tournament, or probably not this tournament, one of them win one of the future Rise Up Series events.
Thomas, it's interesting that you mentioned that. It's good to have those conversations, isn't it? To have an open line of communication between yourselves and the players, that it's not you guys just dictating terms and conditions to them.
Absolutely. We've got our players committee where a lot of our players go through them to bring, not always concerns, comments and ideas through them. And Jake Rich is our players committee chairman. But 100%, Rich, and what I'd like to preach is to go back and say, if something isn't going your way, you've got to say something, because it's going to keep on going the same way until you say something. And every time it goes the way you don't want it to go, you're going to get upset and more upset and more upset. So rather come out and say what you think. Do it in a nice, respectful way, obviously, but exactly what you said, communication is key, across from a player's point of view, but also amongst our tour staff as well.
Good to get their feedback and help make things even better on the Sunshine Tour. Tristan Strydom now with his eagle attempt on 17.
I want to say maybe put a bit of pressure on George, but still, if it does go in, still got a challenge going up 18.
It's a really good effort from Tristan Strydom, a kick in birdie for him, and making the most of his opportunity in this event. Also Pretoria Country Club member. Local knowledge helping, and he gets it to 8 under par and playing the last. So Strydom certainly cashing in on that. Cashing in on the aviator's look as well. He's sporting a very cool look today.
Absolutely cool. I'm just looking back now and seeing the partnership with Pretoria Country Club going all the way back to 2009. I'm sure we even started before that with the Vodacom Origins of Golf here. I see the winners on the wall proudly displayed over here. So very good relationship with Pretoria Country Club, and also thanks to Vivian, I think he's GM, or not sure what his title is. He's the big boss man here, who allowed us to come and play here this week. Course has been great. Organisation from their point of view has also been fantastic, and won't hesitate to come back again.
Yeah, Vivian's been front and centre this week, certainly hands-on and certainly involved in making everybody feel welcome and presenting a wonderful track for the golfers to compete on this week. Jaden Shaper now with his second into 18, the par 5 coming up the hill. I'm glad they're playing it as a par 5 this week, Thomas, because we've seen in the Tshwane Open, it's been turned into a par 4 and it becomes beastly.
Absolutely. I think this and the 5th hole as well, actually, they both went down to par 4s. So I'm actually glad I agreed. I actually thought about it the other day, going, golf courses are a lot easier with more par 5s. Not so much for me and you, Rich, because we just hit more shots. But for these guys, it's good for their scorecard.
Back to Coetzee now with his birdie attempt on 17. Just to get it to 13 under. Yeah. Sure. He's just looked so solid from that range, and a lot of that you put down to level of comfort on the greens. Not so comfortable with the handoff to his caddy JD there, but certainly looking very happy with the way things are going at the stage. And why wouldn't he? 13 under par, a 6-shot advantage playing the last hole. And you have to say, George Coetzee is not going to make a mistake from here.
Yeah, no, 18 should be a comfortable hole with 5 shots. I must say one of the amateurs could play the hole on his behalf and win, but
I wouldn't volunteer my services.
Sure, I'm nervous kind of watching it. I hate to try to play it on his behalf. So yeah, so greatness begins here, absolutely. And I think you said last week, Rich, George is going overseas after this. So this is a good send-off, a real big boost of confidence as well for him.
Yeah, this starts hopefully a 5-week stretch for him as he heads over to the European Tour and the bubble that they've got over there, and he'll hopefully resume his playing in a few days or so. But George, seeing the opportunity that this event does afford him to build a bit of confidence to get that momentum heading into the next stretch of events for him.
Absolutely, he's going into that bubble, and we've been working very, very hard with the European Tour doctors and our team of medical experts here in South Africa to try present a plan to them in order for us to be able to host our co-sanctioned events towards the end of the year. With all things being open, etc., our borders being open, and tourism being allowed in, we're at the stage of presenting documents to the European Tour, and hope they approve what we're trying to implement towards the end of the year. But a couple of challenging meetings ahead of us, but very exciting. George over here done this 1,000 times, I'm sure, on 18. Not so much for winning a tournament, but he's only got an iron out. So.
Interesting play, electing to try and stay away from those bunkers. The slew of them running up the left-hand side of 18 and either on the right-hand side. Not where you want to be hitting your tee shot.
I see behind George over there is our partners board, and just want to say thanks to all of our partners again on the Sunshine Tour. That's helping us through the tour, make it happen. With one of our newer partners being Betway, a complete golfer. And our stalwarts on the tour, the Nedbank, the Supersport, iTech, Mustech, and where this tournament's been held in Gauteng. Gauteng provincial government came on board probably 3 years ago. Been fantastic supporter of golf, and as they used to say, I think the old payoff line used to be home of champions.
It is certainly the home of champions, and some great events that we have had over the last 3 weeks as we head towards the conclusion of the Titleist Championship here at Pretoria Country Club, as the lead group makes their way off the tee on 18 and up towards the par 5 finish. Let's head down to OG Molefe again.
Heinrich Brainers, another solid week for you, 68 to finish. You must be happy.
Yeah, it was a good round today. I just made a few small little mistakes during the round. I really wanted to finish it off well, but it's been an awesome week. It's been an awesome few weeks back on tour. I think this is our third event back again, so yeah, happy with my last event before the break.
Heading into a 2-week break now, anything you're going to be working on?
Oh, I'm definitely not going to change too much. It's been awesome. I've made a few changes and I stuck with it for the last few events, and I was very consistent throughout the first 3 events, and then hopefully I can push through to get the trophy soon.
Yeah, 2 more on the Rise Up series to look forward to.
No, definitely. So we've got 2 more. That's I think the ones are Idle Park and ERPM, but I've really been eating it well. I've made a few mistakes, but I fought hard today, even though I made a few simple mistakes coming in, but I'm just really happy with the way I finished.
It's been a pleasure having you, Heini. Thank you.
Thanks so much, guys.
Yeah, nice to see Heinrich doing well, and what should be a top 5 finish for him. Shaper with his eagle putt now on the last. Thomas, I'm glad we've sorted this out. It's not dodos, it's dogs.
Yeah, shame. I must say sorry to Ryan Dodds, who heads up our Mauritius tournament. I think I insulted, Jaden insulted the dodo over there with Heine's shirt, but Heine's a good guy. You touched on it briefly. Wish him well for the future, and hope the trophy does come in very, very soon for him.
Bit of light at the end of the tunnel there for Jaden Shaper. A birdie on the last. That'll certainly lighten the mood after what has been another frustrating final round for him. But as we did mention earlier on, it's only a matter of time before he puts 3 together and comes up with a trophy at the end of it. Jaco Al is also in with the shot here for eagle on the last. And that's what you want for a finishing hole, isn't it? That anything can happen and guys can score well here.
Absolutely. And again, Jaco, as I said on the previous hole, going on the birdie Betway challenge over there, just racking up the birdies. Had a brief chat with Jaco Prince a little earlier, saying he only had 4 birdies today. Let's see what Jaco does here on 18 to climb or secure his top spot on that leaderboard.
Just so hard to leave that high enough. But should tap in for a birdie on the last. And another good week for Jaco Al. There's no surprise really to see him in contention week in and week out. If it wasn't for a little blip yesterday, not his best round, a 73, you would certainly be applying a little bit more pressure on this man in picture. Thomas, let's chat about the rangefinders as well. Also, an idea to have the pros play with them.
Yeah, I think it's been a very, 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 very difficult decision that we went with that, just to try to help the players through this tough time as well. For them to go ahead and not use a yardage book as such, but use a rangefinder. But yeah, it's been mixed responses. I know that our team that sells the yardage book still sold, almost 85% of their normal yardage books this week. So interesting enough, I think the guys thought rangefinders were the way to go, and some of the guys went back to the old and trusted way as well. So yeah, we'll just try to help the guys from a cost point of view over this Rise Up series coming out of the lockdown, so they could just use that instead of having to contribute to a book.
Certainly no harm in using both if you want to give yourself all the tools at your disposal to make the decision in terms of what club to hit. As we just saw the second last group finishing up on 18, and that paves the way for our lead group to finish up here at Pretoria Country Club.
Clayton just hit it in the bunker that guards that front section over here, and let's up Tristan just hits us on the green. All 2 putts and secures his top 2 finish. Ooh.
That needs to stop, and it should. There's a bit of a bank there, which it doesn't look like it on the screens at the moment, but might come back a little bit, and hopefully it stays up there and doesn't feed off.
Okay, a little collar over there, hung up over there.
But certainly an opportunity for an eagle for Tristan Strydom.
Almost champion here on 18.
Coetzee with a comfortable lead, 5 shots at this stage over his playing partner and fellow Pretoria Country Club member Tristan Strydom. Should have no problems with this one.
From your lips, Rich, from your lips. Very composed, controlled swing there by George. Not okay. That'll show some need some talent and class, which George has got both of them.
Thomas, great to see guys like George, like Darren, another guy who spent plenty of time on the European Tour, Jaco Ahlers, in the mix, competing again and ploughing back into the tour.
Absolutely, we're very lucky to have such talented golfers that have reached the pinnacle of the golf and staying home. I know George recently got married, and I'm not sure if his wife convinced him to stay a bit longer. So maybe that's why he stayed. But I'm so glad that they all supported these Rise Up Series events. And we also thank you to them as well, because it does add a little bit more clout to the series of events when we see winners like George and Darren, and also Donnie as well, who came second in the Tshwane Open in 2014. So good to have these winners up in the Rise Up Series.
Donnie, of course, the winner last week at the African Bank Sunshine Tour Championship at Glendower. Darren Fichardt with that remarkable final round 64 to claim victory at Killarney in the first event, the Betway Championship. Almost did it again today. I mean, a 65 from him. That's vaulted him up to 4th place on the leaderboard. It's remarkable what he seems to do in the final round.
Yeah, he briefly chatted to Darren just to say well done on his round today. He said, shucks, can he come back tomorrow and see if he can play an extra and try to catch up with George? And he wasn't too sure if he should stay around and see if he needed to hang around for a playoff or what would work out. And he said, no, he'll come back tomorrow rather than try put another score in to catch up with George, because no one's going to catch him.
George Coetzee striding up 18 to find out what sort of a lie he has in the bunker there. See Tristan Strydom's ball is just held up on the right edge of the green.
Consistency.
Your game depends on it.
Your score depends on it. Your next shot depends on it.
Consistency.
It's confidence.
Consistency. It's distance control. Consistency. It's everything.
Nothing is more important. The fact is, consistency matters. You're either playing the most consistent golf ball or you're not.
Titleist, the #1 ball in golf.
Clayton Mansfield first to play here on 18, left himself in a pretty good position coming up the slope there with his 3rd shot. He'll also want to finish with a flourish and take a few positives out of what's been a bit of a struggle today. Pretty good effort from
Nicely
him.
done, yeah.
Started the day on 5 under par and in solo 3rd. Hasn't gone his own way, and he'll learn plenty of
Absolutely, yeah.
things from today's experience.
Absolutely, and How's our almost champion again. As I said, we'll test his skill over here. It looks like he's hitting it out safely first, and
great atmosphere around 18 as well. A lot of the members sitting in the barn on the veranda out here looking down on the 18th.
yeah, always a fantastic affair here at Pretoria Country Club. I see the club have done something for their members as well. It's their, I think it was the 110th year, I think, if I'm not mistaken, that they want to promote this year. And they had these festivals lined up this year, but obviously with the pandemic, they've had to cancel it, and was going to use this event as a little a promotional element as well for it.
Tristan Stradom certainly got a rousing reception yesterday when he finished up his second round. It was an impressive performance, a 65 for him, and plenty of cheering from the balcony as he wrapped up. This would create some hype and vibe as well if you were to knock this one in for eagle and get to 10 under par.
Sure, absolutely, I think definitely some cheers, as you said.
Stradom's got better and better as the Rise Up series has wore on. Missed the cut in the first event out at Killarney and tied for 13th last week at Glendower. And this to wrap up second.
A tough putt that, yeah, still 2 under for his round today. Got to be pretty proud of himself. Second at Pretoria Country Club behind, I want to say, our almost champion. Yeah, so well played this week, Tristan.
Very good result for Tristan Stradom. A whole bunch of top 10s on the Big Easy IGT Challenge Tour, but this is best result so far on the Sunshine Tour. Of course, won Q School a little earlier on in the year. That will have given him a big boost as well. A lot of those golfers who were involved in Q School, the Jaden Shapers, the Rupert Kaminskis, Luca Filippi, they're all out and competing this week.
Absolutely, and that's what tour school's there is to give these guys a real opportunity to become great, and that's what the Sunshine Tour is about. Hopefully Clayton over just rolls us in a little bit over here. Shame, tough day out for him, but as you said, Rich, I think he'll learn from it, but right now he's probably just hate to give every minute of it, but look back and it'll be a different story tomorrow when he wakes up.
Certainly plenty to take from the experience for Clayton Mansfield. Not the sort of final round he would have hoped for, but nonetheless a lot to look back on and be proud of this week, having opened with a 68, followed it up with a 72 yesterday. And today, not the sort of final round he would have been hoping for, but nonetheless, lots learned from the experience. Now, our champion-elect, our champion-to-be, George Coetzee looking to finish it off with a birdie here on 18. Wants to make this. I mean, he's got a few putts to win, but still wants to finish with a birdie and finish with a flourish.
I'll go back and say, Rich, let's put you there. I'm sure you'll have 5 putts from there. I think you'll be all right.
I'll take that and run.
Yeah, well played, George. Oh, there we go.
Just cozies that one up. And taps it in. That's a par, and that's the victory. There are the cheers that we were hoping for from the Pretoria Country Club faithful. Well done to George Coetzee. Congratulations from Tristan Stradom. There's the spray. And James Hart Dupree also out in the mix there. And his wife CJ there as well. And congratulating him. Well done to George Coetzee. And phenomenal performance from him as he bags Sunshine Tour win number 11. And JD, his caddy, also getting in on the celebrations there.
Yeah, great to see. Another really good week. Very, very chuffed and pleased it went off so well. And we need to say thank you to our tournament director, Gary, this week. Been a really good week again. And good result. And as we move on to our next one, at the RPM in a couple of weeks' time.
Couple of weeks off for the pros to go back and think a little bit about what they've achieved or not achieved over the first 3 events. Opportunity to reflect, but that man will be delighted. Rounds of 67, 70 and 66 to get the job done here at Pretoria Country Club. Certainly a few more of those will be flowing a little later on from George Coetzee. That was the birdie putt. It wasn't to be, that he would tap in for par, finish on 13 under and claim a 5-shot victory over Tristan Stratham. Coetzee on his way to score recording. Go do the final few odds and ends that is needed. And he'll be delighted with that. Vital to get a good performance under the belt before he heads off to Europe for a couple of events in a row on the European Tour. Coming off the back of a share of second last week at the African Bank Sunshine Tour Championship. Going one better this week with Sunshine Tour victory number 11. There's a look at how things finished up. A 6 under par 66 for George Coetzee in the final round. Got off to a bumpy start, bogeyed his first 2 holes, but really it was that stretch around the turn. Reeled off 5 birdies in a row. That steadied the ship, saw him break clear of the chasing pack, and in the end, a 4-shot victory over Tristan Stratham, fellow Pretoria Country Club member, who carded a 70 today to finish on 9 under. The experienced campaigners Jaco Ahlers and Darren Fichardt in 3rd and 4th respectively. And good to see Daniel van Tonder, winner last week at Glendower, grabbing another top 10. A excellent finish for him. 1 under par today, 1 under in total. A whole bunch of quality players lining up behind him. The youngsters, Jaden Shaper and Rupert Kaminski, in the mix there as well. Nice to see them faring well. Again, experience from Keith Horn, tie for 16th with Martin Rowe, who's also done well in the Rise Up series. A couple of good finishes for him, and he'll take a lot of positives out of that. Nice to see Michael Hollick and Jared Harvey playing well again, and a top 25s for both of them. But the day belongs to George Coetzee. 6 under par today, really a stunning performance from him. And that's secured the victory. 13 under in total and another win at Pretoria Country Club. It is a happy hunting ground for him. 2 wins in the Tshwane Open in 2015 and 2018. And very comfortable around this layout. It has been a wonderful week. It started off rather chilly on Wednesday, has gotten better and better as the week wore on. Maybe a later start for spring, but it's been worth waiting for. Mid-20s today in Pretoria, and the professionals have certainly cashed in on the great scoring.
Yeah, I think our winners will remember this series, being Darren and Donnie and then George. But I think a lot of our professional golfers and our team will remember this series for the cold start to that day at Killarney. It was something ridiculous, and this week wasn't that great either. But yeah, well done to our champions over the past 3 weeks.
As Thomas mentioned, that start 3 weeks ago, minus 11 real feel on that Wednesday morning at Killarney was some of the coldest conditions I've ever experienced, and certainly some of the coldest the professionals have. It wasn't much better on Wednesday here
no,
either.
No, wasn't. You're right. Yeah, we joked with our tournament director Gary Todd, saying minus 11 wasn't our leader's score. That was the temperature. It was frightfully cold that day, and I'm glad it's warmed up and summer's here, and let the rain come and let our courses get green and let us enjoy it.
I was actually chatting with one of the seasoned journalists that's here this week to cover the event again, Ken Borland, and he was joking, saying that if we need rain, we must just organise a cricket match just down the road at Supersport Park, guaranteed to get rain then.
Absolutely, we need the rain. We always need the rain, so water will make it pretty for us. So yeah, let it come quickly.
On the cusp of summer, and certainly a lovely time of the year to be playing golf on the Highveld. It's getting warmer. Still firm and fast conditions. It does make for a tricky round out there, and we have seen that in the scoring for the first 3 events. Thomas, nobody really running away with things, but a good few under pars made for at least interesting and exciting golf to watch.
Absolutely. I see George needs a Titleist box for something. I'm not sure what that's over there, but yeah, so I see also, Rich, that we've gone this week in the last 3 weeks with our new green and gold colors. We're going to announce that officially next week. We've got all our systems in place. We tried and tested our website, our scoring apps. We've got everything going the green route, in line with all our national sports going green and gold. But very glad we got this far, and I see it's actually maybe some clubs in that bag and not just a box that George is carrying over there.
Maybe a few goodies to try out or to take with as he heads overseas.
We won't follow George all the way in.
Wants to go wash his hands. A little bit of sanitizer on that. There you go. It's the new norm, isn't it?
Sure, absolutely. Anywhere you go, and Pretoria have done very well. Every entrance they've got sanitizers and checking in through the front gate. Their team at the front gate have done a superlative job.
The mask as well, also part of the new normal. Precautions that have to be taken. Small price to pay, though, to get professional golf back up and running. It really is good to see. Let's head down to OG for the presentation.
Okay, cool. Welcome to the prize giving for the Titleist Championship here at the Pretoria Country Club. It's been another magnificent edition of a tournament on the Rise Up series. The third of the edition, and it's been absolutely magnificent. He came in as the local favorite. A lot of people tipping him to win this week because of his course knowledge. And you would have heard us talk to him last week, and he was excited to actually come to his home course, where obviously he is now the Titleist Championship winner. Ladies and gentlemen, George Coetzee.
Thank you.
Georgie, before Leonard hands you the trophy, but we might as well do that. We've got Leonard Loxton from Titleist as well.
Thanks, man. Thank you. Well done.
Let's take it off.
Leonard Loxton from Titleist, handing the trophy to George Coetzee. Georgie, an excellent week for you. Last week when I spoke to you, you were excited about coming here, and I guess this is why.
Yeah, I mean, it's always been special playing as a Pretoria Country Club player and a Titleist player. It's the two brands and companies or places that have supported me my whole career, and it's awesome to win something that is totally me, totally Titleist, totally Pretoria Country Club, and yeah, I was just really happy to have done it, especially in front of everyone that could watch from far away. But yeah, hopefully soon we'll all have spectators back on the course as well.
I was going to say, it must be nice to see some of your members and friends and family also here.
Yeah, it's unfortunate it's from far. I'll give them air high fives and stuff, but yeah, happy to have done it. I could have waved and I could hear the clap, so it was nice that I could share it with them.
Congratulations, Georgie.
All right, thank you.
And that's our winner, ladies and gentlemen. George Coetzee, the winner of the Titleist Championship. And for me to say now, thank you to everyone at the Pretoria Country Club. The staff, the members have been absolutely fantastic. To the Nomads Association for helping us out this week as well. And as always, all the sponsors of the Sunshine Tour, Titleist themselves, Betway, who hosted the first tournament in the Rise Up series, African Bank, and the Gauteng government as well. It's been a spectacular week here at the Pretoria Country Club. There's a 2-week break, and we'll see you again as we commence the Rise Up series.
Yeah, nice to see George Coetzee get the trophy there. As he said, a trophy that is very much him, a Titleist player, a Pretoria Country Club member, and really deserving of that. Thomas, thank you very much for joining us today. Well done on another event that you guys have pulled off without a hitch. Congratulations on that, and enjoy a week or two's break.
Absolutely. I think we're head down and go, Rich, into the next one to see with our new regulations and what we're allowed to do, what boundaries we can push. But very chuffed for George. It's been a great week, been a great 3 weeks. Very happy. And may the next 2 weeks be even better.
Well, Thomas App, Deputy Commissioner of the Sunshine Tour, thank you for joining us today. Thank you as well for watching along on our live streams on the Facebook page and the YouTube channel of the Sunshine Tour and DSTV Now. Thank you for joining us. We hope you will join us again in a couple of weeks' time with the 4th event of the Rise Up series at ERPM. From everyone here at Pretoria Country Club, thank you so much and goodbye.